Chapter 46-49. Guangming walked out. He wanted to use his extreme speed to break this array. Among all the supernatural powers in the world, only speed was invincible. Maybe he could really break it with his extreme speed. The people of the Purple Mansion were also looking forward to it. Guangming walked into the array and turned into an aurora. Even Yun Fei and the others couldn't see him clearly. Guangming was extremely fast. He dodged all the attacks, but he found that he still couldn't break it. Although the array couldn't hurt him, he still couldn't break it completely. Damn it, what kind of array was this? Even his bloodline speed couldn't break it? Finally, he retreated, shaking his head and sighing. Everyone was in despair. Even Guangming was defeated. The others had no chance at all. It seemed that they couldn't get the great, desolate heaven splitting hand. That might not be the case. A voice rang out. Everyone turned their heads and looked over. Then they were shocked. It was Lin Xian. Was this kid trying to break the array? Yes, it was Lin Xian. He looked forward, took a deep breath, and walked in. What was this kid doing? He couldn't break it, even with his extreme speed? Who did he think he was? Jiang Qin snorted and said, Lin Gongzi is usually very steady. He won't do anything he isn't sure of. Besides, what right do you have to look down on him? You don't even dare to try. Dan Feng said coldly. Jiang Qin snorted. I want to see how he's going to break the array. The people of the Purple Mansion were also watching. Yao Guang narrowed his eyes. A mysterious smile appeared on Yu Fian's face. They all looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian naturally knew that if he did this, the people of the Purple Mansion would target him again. They might even find out his true identity. However, the Purple Mansion was so mysterious and powerful. They even sent experts to attack him last time. Even if he was hiding, he might be discovered. If that was the case, why should he hide? He might as well stand out and break the array. If he was lucky, he might even get the Ancient Saint's unique skill. After walking into the array, Lin Xian could feel the uniqueness of the array. He himself was an expert in array formations, and his strength was extremely powerful. Thus, at this moment, he formed hand seals with his palms, and countless talismans flew out from his fingertips in all directions to break the seal. Lin Xian had learned the heaven-breaking formation before, so he could break most formations. However, that was not the case now. The heaven-crushing formation had lost its effect before the nameless formation. Lin Xian sensed the increasingly terrifying aura and rushed over. It was no wonder that Golden Crow and the others could not withstand it. Even Light was helpless. The power of the array formation was really too strong. He shouted coldly as he waved his hand. Countless great Daos intertwined with each other to form a mysterious ancient character. This was the result of his recent comprehension of the Heavenly Quartz Tao. At this moment, he subconsciously used it. The Heavenly Quartz Tao permeated the surroundings. The array formation in front of them was quickly broken, and the surrounding attacks disappeared. Lin Xian was stunned. What's going on? Could the Heavenly Quartz Tao break the array formation? He was really too surprised. That shouldn't be the case. Even though the Heavenly Quartz Tao is incomparably mysterious, it's definitely not specialized in deciphering formations. What was going on? Could it be this array formation? Lin Xian had previously felt that this array formation was very familiar. Now that he thought about it carefully, he suddenly realized. In the ruins of the Heavenly Court, there was a peerless array formation that so many great sages could not break even together. The power of that array formation was shocking. This one was very similar. However, this one was a weakened version, and its power was countless times weaker. He did not recognize it at first. Now that the Heavenly Quartz Tao had displayed its power, he finally remembered that this was definitely similar to the array formation of the ancient Heavenly Court. Lin Xian used the Heavenly Quartz Tao and did not continue to break the array formation. He frowned. It seemed that this array formation was set up by the Purple Mansion Great Sage after studying the Heavenly Quartz array formation. Then he invited the experts of the world to break it and find inspiration to break the Heavenly Court's array formation. If he could break it at this time, wouldn't he be helping the Purple Mansion? Thinking of this, he wanted to end it. However, on second thought, he was also extremely curious about the Heavenly Court. It was a supreme treasure trove. If he did not make a move this time, it would be impossible for him to break it himself. Because the real Heavenly Court's array formation was thousands of times stronger than this. It needed a great sage to break it. Lin Xian had an idea. It seemed that he had to show some of his strength. He had to let the clan of the ancients and the peerless sects pay attention. Then he could use the power of the clan of the ancients to break the array formation. This way, he would be able to obtain the things in the ancient Heavenly Court. It seemed that this was a very dangerous decision, but Lin Xian decided to take the risk. Wealth came from danger. He would go all out. Lin Xian took a deep breath and condensed the Heavenly Court's Tao again. The second ancient character appeared, and he quickly scanned the surroundings. The surrounding people were waiting and discussing. They did not think highly of Lin Xian because Light, Golden Crow, and the others had all tried and were helpless. Perhaps only a true great sage could do it. Lin Xian was strong, but there was still a gap between him and a true great sage. How could this kid succeed? Jiang Chen sneered. Golden Crow, how also snorted. Even he couldn't succeed, let alone Lin Xian. But all of a sudden, his face froze and his eyes widened. Jiang Chen's pupils constricted. This was impossible. He felt as if he was dreaming. Dan Feng said, "The array formation has been broken." With a cry of surprise, everyone raised their heads and looked over. They were dumbfounded. The array formation in front of them quickly cracked open. The people of the Purple Mansion were shocked. Could it be? They were all stunned. The array formation cracked open, and a figure walked out. "You broke it!" Yao Guang also exclaimed. Yu Fian walked up and observed carefully. She looked at Lin Xian in disbelief. "Lin Gongzi, you really succeeded." "Not bad." Lin Xian nodded. "I was lucky to be able to decipher it." "Lucky?" Everyone had strange expressions. Damn it! How could this guy be so lucky? Jiang Chen gritted his teeth. Golden Crow, Hao's face also darkened. The others were speechless. Was it really good luck? This was not something that could be explained by luck. Lin Xian ignored these people and looked at Yu Fian. He said, "Previously you said that whoever breaks this array formation will be able to obtain the ancient sage's lost art. I wonder if you can fulfill your promise." The successors of the Immortal Mountains discussed. Yu Fian stood her ground. She said, "Of course. Young master, please wait a moment. I'll go get it now." As she spoke, her figure flickered and flew into the distance. The others were incomparably envious. This guy really did it and was going to obtain the lost art, the great desolate heaven-splitting hand. Yao Guang had used it to shock Golden Crow, how with a single strike. One could imagine how terrifying such a lost art was. After a while, Yu Fian returned. This time, she didn't come back alone. There was another figure who came back with her. Chapter 4650. It was an elder. He held a jade slip in his hand and said, "This must be Lin Gongzi, the one who cracked the array." As he spoke, he looked at the spirit formation. Wherever his gaze passed, a cold light appeared in his eyes. He really cracked it. "That's right, I am." Lin Xian spoke again. The elder said, "Of course," and handed over the jade slip in his hand. What was recorded inside was the cultivation technique of the great desolate heaven-splitting hand. Lin Xian took it and found that it was very complicated. It was recorded by the Supreme Saint with his soul. It was as vast as the sea. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. His heavenly secret, godly eyes formed a light shadow and covered all the energy inside. In the next moment, he waved his hand and shattered the jade slip. Everyone was shocked. Did he finish reading it? The people of the Purple Mansion were also surprised. The great, desolate sky-splitting hand was so complicated that it couldn't be read in 2 or 3 years. Had this brat really finished reading it? Or did he just shatter it? Lin Gongzi? The elder was also surprised. Lin Xian said, "I finished reading it. To prevent others from stealing it, I destroyed it. I don't think you want more people to see it." Yu Fian and Yao Guang also frowned. What kind of soul was this? Even they couldn't do it, but this guy did it so easily. The old man also exclaimed, "Good," as expected of a young prodigy who can break the formation. This is really an eye-opener for me. Lin Gongzi, your talent is admirable. I'm very curious. Why don't you stay in the Purple Mansion for a few days? I have some things to ask you. Of course, in return, the Purple Mansion won't mistreat you. Maybe we'll provide you with other ancient Saint martial arts. The surrounding people gasped. Some of the geniuses' eyes turned red. Living in the Purple Mansion was something that they had dreamed of. There were so many martial arts in the Purple Mansion. If they could get 1 or 2, they would benefit immensely. But now he had actually been tricked by this brat. How despicable! Jiang Chen, Jinwu Hao, and the others gritted their teeth. Lin Xian's heart was beating wildly. This old man wanted to trap him. He directly refused. "No, thank you for your kindness, but I still have things to do, so I won't be staying in the Z Mansion. Furthermore, 1 divine ability is already enough for me to cultivate. I don't want anything else." With that, Lin Xian turned to leave. "Young master, please wait." Yu Fian walked over and stopped Lin Xian. Lin Xian's expression darkened. "What? You want to stop me by force?" "We just want to have a chat with you." Yu Fian also emitted a terrifying aura. As the successor of the Immortal Mountain, not only was she extremely beautiful, her strength was also top-notch. "Is that so? I also want to experience the strength of a Purple Mansion successor. Is he really as terrifying as the legends say?" Lin Xian's eyes released a terrifying aura, and a powerful soul pressure emerged. Everyone felt their souls being suppressed, as if they would be torn apart at any moment. How could this guy's soul be so terrifying? Yu Fian's expression also changed. She snorted and was about to attack. At this moment, the old man in the back said, "Okay, stop." Yu Fian shook, then said, "Yes, elder." She stepped back and stood respectfully to the side. The elder walked over and said, "Lin Gongzi, we treat you with respect. I hope you can consider it carefully. Don't refuse, or else." He didn't speak, but released an aura. The surrounding people were terrified. This was the aura of a supreme saint. This old man was actually a great sage. Lin Xian's pupils constricted. Damn it! He hid so deeply that he didn't sense it before. Was the supreme saint here because he was afraid he would resist and run away? "What? You want to attack me?" Facing a supreme saint, Lin Xian was still strong to the end. His gaze was resolute. The Purple Mansion great saint laughed. "I don't want to either. But young master, please don't do that." It was over. Everyone shook their heads. A supreme saint attacked. He had to stay here even if he didn't want to. Lin Xian laughed. "The Purple Mansion great saint has a big appetite. Aren't you afraid you can't swallow it all?" "What do you mean?" The Purple Mansion great saint frowned. The others were also confused. Lin Xian sneered. "What? Do you really think I don't know?" He pointed at the broken array in front of him and said, "Your array should be based on the peerless array in the Heavenly Court ruins. Don't you want to get the method to crack the Heavenly Court ruins? Now that I've cracked it, you want to suppress me and take the Heavenly Court for yourself?" Hearing this, the surrounding people were stunned. No way there was such a thing. What nonsense. The Purple Mansion great saint's face darkened. His aura was as deep as the sea, and Lin Xian kept retreating. Lin Xian's face was pale. There was a strong sword intent on his body that seemed to be able to cut through everything. Golden light bloomed in his eyes. The eye of the god fought against it. "You're courting death. The purple mansion, great saint roared. Lin Xian retreated again. He had the great saint's illusion on his body, but he was still injured. Blood dripped from the corner of his mouth. Lin Xian laughed. What, are you angry? You want to kill me? Lin Xian looked at Yi Wu Dao, Xingtian Su, and the others. You are all top geniuses. Now, think carefully. Isn't this array very similar to the peerless array in the ancient heavenly court? The geniuses began to recall, and found that there were indeed some similarities, but the power was much weaker. They didn't realize it at first. If not for Lin Xian's reminder, they would still be in the dark. What nonsense! The purple mansion, great saint, wanted to attack. At this time Yi Wu Dao said, Why? I think so. Yes, that's right. Xingtian Su also said. Light nodded. Even Jin Wu Hao's face was cold. Although he wanted to kill Lin Xian, he knew that Lin Xian was right. Looking at this scene, Lin Xian laughed. What? Do you still think that the Purple Mansion Great Saint can cover up the truth? Do you still want to monopolize this matter? So what if they know? The Purple Mansion Great Saint said coldly. If I want to suppress you, do you think they can resist? You can try to touch him. Danfeng walked out and said coldly, This is a guest I brought. If you touch him, you will be an enemy of the Danding sect. Lin Xian is my friend. If you touch him, you will be going against me. Yi Wu Dao also walked out. The Purple Mansion Great Saint was silent. The others were also shocked. Danfeng, a new genius, might not be powerful enough, but Leaf Dao Denier was different. Yi Wu Dao's reputation had long been known. He had the sacred body of the ancients. When he grew up, he would be able to control the Yi family. That was the family of Adarch. No matter how strong the Purple Mansion Great Saint was, it had just reopened. It wasn't as grand as it was 70,000 years ago. Therefore, it was unwise to offend these two forces. If what Lin Gongzi said is true, then I think that the Light Tribe will invite Lin Gongzi to be our guest. At this time, Light said in a deep voice. Xingtian nodded. Yes, the Sacred Sky Tribe also wants to invite Lin Gongzi. The other geniuses spoke one after another. Chapter 46-51. The others were shocked. The Purple Mansion Great Sage's face darkened. He knew that today's matter could no longer be concealed, so he could no longer make a move. Otherwise, the Purple Mansion would have to face all the other top forces. After all, it seemed that Lin Xian's ability to decipher the array formation was the only key to unlocking the Heavenly Court's array formation. It seemed that the Purple Mansion had made a wise choice. Seeing them stop, Lin Xian sneered and said, Thank you for your ancient saint's unique skill. I'll take it. Then he turned to leave. A stream of light flew over. Light said, Lin Gongzi, I want to invite you to the Light Clan. Xingtian Su also walked over and invited him. Lin Xian said with a smile, Don't worry, I won't leave. I'll rest at the Danding School. 5 days later, you can come and invite me. After saying that, Lin Xian looked at Danfeng. Red Phoenix nodded, rose into the air and disappeared. The others also said goodbye and returned to their families and sections. After all, they had to inform the elders of such a big thing. Damn kid! After Lin Xian and the others left, the Purple Mansion people's faces darkened, and their eyes were filled with killing intent. The Purple Mansion Great Sage sneered, This kid is interesting. He dares to go against us. Do you want to kill him? Yao Guang asked. The Purple Mansion Great Sage said he's still useful. After we break the ancient Heavenly Court, he'll die. The news of the ancient Heavenly Court array and Lin Xian breaking the array spread throughout Taiching Ancient City. The remote antiquity families and sects were shocked. The Purple Mansion was really smart to come up with such a plan, and someone really could break the array. Where was Lin Xian? Quick, go and invite him over here. Countless eyes gathered on Lin Xian. The Danding school people were also shocked when they heard the news. Lin Xian, wasn't he the person Hu Yuan brought back a few days ago? They didn't pay much attention to him before, but they didn't expect him to have such a method. Oh no, we might have neglected him before. Let's go and see. These elders joined forces and headed toward the mountain range. Dozens of elders came together, making Hu Yuan feel as if he was facing a great enemy. Elder Zhang, did I do anything wrong? He was about to cry. The elders' eyes lit up. It has nothing to do with you. Where's Lin Gongzi? Lin Gongzi and Dan Feng were researching pills inside. Hearing this, the elders all flew in. We request an audience with Lin Gongzi. When Lin Xian walked out, he was shocked as well. There were so many elders. Seniors, please come in. Now that he was in Pill Cauldron School, he naturally had to be courteous to these elders. Those elders walked in and looked at Lin Xian as if they were looking at a peerless treasure, which made Lin Xian's heart turn cold. Dan Feng also did not know whether to laugh or cry. Don't worry, elders, Lin Gongzi will definitely help us. After sending these elders away, she said, Let's go, I'll take you to see my master. The Red Phoenix's master was extraordinary. He was a great saint. He was also a grand elder. When they arrived at the palace in the sky, Lin Xian felt a powerful flame aura. Master, I'm coming. Dan Feng took the token and walked in. The surrounding flames kept flashing. Inside, an elder opened his eyes. Feng, are you back? Then he looked at Lin Xian and said with a smile, This must be Lin Gongzi, who has been in the limelight recently. This young heavenly talent is indeed extraordinary. Senior, you're too polite. Lin Xian did not dare to be careless in front of him, because this person's aura was too terrifying. He was even more terrifying than the great saint of the Purple Mansion. Clearly, the other party was also an extremely formidable existence in the Great Saint realm. Great Saint Pillfire asked Lin Xian about the array. Lin Xian said, There is indeed a way to break it, but he can't do it with his strength. When the time comes, he will need a group of great saints. This matter was very important, so Great Saint Pillfire did not dare to be careless. Then he called a few more people. 2 figures walked over. One was a mighty middle-aged man, the leader of Pill Cauldron School. The other was equally terrifying, Great Saint Purple Pill. The 3 great saints and Lin Xian discussed for a long time, then left. They had wanted to take Lin Xian alone to break the formation. But Supreme Saint Danhua shook his head. The 3 supreme saints were indeed powerful. The 3 great saints were powerful, but Pill Cauldron School alone was not enough to take down the ancient heavenly court. If they forced their way in, they would be in danger of being killed. Therefore, it was better to join forces with the other ancient clans and great sections. Once they broke the array and entered, it would be up to their own abilities. 5 days later, those people quickly arrived. The Light Clan was the first to arrive, but Lin Xian did not go to the Light Clan. Instead, he lost the Wind Clan. Because of Wind Phoenix and Leaf Dowdenier, Lin Xian had to give face to Leaf Dowdenier, even if he didn't want to. After arriving at the Wind Clan, Lin Xian sighed. The first time he came to the Wind Clan, he had followed Leaf Dowdenier. At that time, it had been a grand occasion, but the main character was Leaf Dowdenier, so no one paid attention to him. In fact, they had even ignored him. But this time it was different. This time, everyone was paying attention to him, and the elders personally came to welcome him. They seemed to treat him as a supreme emperor and invited him in respectfully. The Moon Breeze couple looked at this scene as if they were in a dream. When they learned that Lin Xian was just a rogue cultivator, they directly ignored him. Who would have thought that Lin Xian would return not long after? He was like a supreme emperor who had arrived, not to mention the younger generation. Even the elders personally came to welcome him. Even the great saints came out. What an honor this was! If they had treated him better and not so arrogantly, Perhaps a word from him would have been enough to raise their status in the clan. Thinking of this, they were filled with regret. Lin Gongzi, please. 2 great saints and the elders personally invited Lin Xian in. Lin Xian and the 2 great saints chatted and laughed. During this time, Moon Breeze personally came over with spirit tea and stayed by Lin Xian's side. After learning about Lin Xian, she had specially dressed up today. Some disciples of the Wind Clan were stunned, but Lin Xian directly ignored them, treating them as air. Recently, he had been studying arrays and was a little tired. Lin Xian sighed. The Moon Breeze couple saw this as an opportunity, so they immediately stood up and said with a smile, "Let me massage your shoulders." Lin Xian turned back and said, "No need, let Wind Phoenix do it." The Moon Breeze couple's hands stopped in midair, and their faces became extremely ugly. Wind Phoenix's face darkened. Who is she? She was the top genius of the Wind Clan. Now they wanted her to massage his shoulders? What a joke! Her eyes could spit fire. However, the great saint of the Wind Clan laughed and said, "Phoenix, why don't you massage Lin Gongzi's shoulders?" Phoenix almost spat out a mouthful of blood. She was really being hammered. She was extremely unwilling, but she knew that Lin Xian was not the same as before. Even the great saints had to ask him for help. She gritted her teeth and came to Lin Xian. Chapter 46-52. Princess Wind Phoenix, thank you. Lin Xian smiled. Seeing his smiling face, Wind Phoenix gritted her teeth and wanted to beat him to death. But in the end, she didn't dare to do it. The surrounding disciples of the Wind Clan were stunned when they saw this scene. That was Wind Phoenix. No one in the younger generation could compare with her, but now she was treated as a maid by Lin Xian. It was truly unbelievable. Lin Xian nodded and praised while drinking the spiritual tea. Not bad, this technique was indeed a top-notch girl. This time, even the 2 supreme saints' faces were a little dark. Why was this guy so annoying? They coughed. Lin Xian smiled and said, "Seniors, don't worry. We'll break the array together." Lin Xian left the Wind Clan in the midst of these powerhouses send off. Then he went to the Light Clan and the Holy Sky Clan and received supreme treatment. Then Lin Xian returned to the Pill Cauldron sect. After returning, Huiyuan walked up and said, "Lin Gongzi, someone wants to see you." "Oh, who is it? Which clan of the ancients is it?" It was very normal for someone to want to see him these days. Huiyuan said, "No, he said he's your old friend." "What does that person look like?" He was wearing a black robe and his face couldn't be seen clearly. It was him. Lin Xian said, "Ask him to come over." Not long after, a black-robed man walked over. Lin Xian set up an array to isolate everything. Then he said, "Hey Shan, why are you here?" "There are legends about you outside. How can I not come? You're talking about the array." Lin Xian shrugged. Hey Shan said, "I think you're getting more and more arrogant. Do you know what kind of place the ancient Heavenly Court is? Now you want to join forces with so many clans of the ancients. If you successfully enter, will those people let you go? I'm afraid the first one to be killed will be you." "I know." Lin Xian nodded. "But what do I have to do? Because I need more power. I found it. The mastermind behind the Hurricane Lily is the Z Mansion. That was an existence that surpassed the clans of the ancients. Once they find out who I am, they'll definitely hunt me down and kill me. With my current strength, I can't resist it. Therefore, I have to enter the ancient Heavenly Court now and see if there are any great fortunes." He Shan sighed after hearing that. He sighed. Initially, he did not want to drag you into this, but it seems like you are already in the game. Since that's the case, we can only join forces. With your current strength, you won't be able to break through the ancient Heavenly Court's formation even with their help. However, with me, you should be able to. You can break the array in the ruins. Lin Xian was shocked. Black Mountain said, Actually, I had the same idea as you. I wanted to borrow the power of the remote antiquity families, but you did it before me. This was good too. Since the Purple Palace had appeared, it was time to restart the heavenly court. Lin Xian was puzzled. He stared at Black Mountain and asked, "What's your relationship with the heavenly court?" Black Mountain smiled mysteriously. "You will know when the time comes." The two began to plan in secret. For this, Lin Xian was fully prepared. He set up many arrays and even made a clone. He dripped some golden saint blood on the clone. The clone was so lifelike as if it was real. Except for Lin Xian, no one else could tell it was real. Next, the people of the Golden Crow race also came to invite Lin Xian. Lin Xian refused directly. "Get out. I won't accept your invitation." The Golden Crow tribe went crazy. "Kid, do you want to die?" A strong cultivator stood between the sky and the earth. His powerful aura pressed down. The sky was full of flames that could burn the 9 heavens. It seemed that he wanted to suppress Lin Xian by force. The overwhelming Golden Crow phantoms turned into a golden, heavenly steel and covered Lin Xian. The Golden Crow tribe sneered. This should be enough. Boom! The people of the Pill Tripod sect were shocked. Many of them even began to call for Elder Zhang. At this moment, an earth-shattering sound was heard. The 16 Golden Crow steels were shattered and Lin Xian walked out. He was a demon god. The great spear of destruction flew out with endless demonic energy. In the next moment, the Golden Crow tribe cultivator was pierced, and his blood dyed the 9 heavens red. Damn it! The other members of the Golden Crow tribe rushed up and wanted to attack. At this moment, the elders of the Pill Tripod sect also walked out. "How dare you? Who gave you the courage to be so presumptuous in our sect? Do you want to protect this kid?" The Golden Crow tribe was murderous. The elders of the Pill Tripod sect snorted. "Lin Gongzi is an important guest of our sect. If you touch him, you will be going against our sect. Believe it or not, none of you will be able to leave today." Damn it! The Golden Crow tribe was furious. They stared at Lin Xian and shouted coldly, "Kid, do you think you can be arrogant for the rest of your life with the support of the Pill Tripod sect? Don't come out if you dare." Lin Xian laughed. "How dare you threaten me? Even if I leave the Pill Tripod sect, do you dare to attack me? Now, only I can break the array of the heavenly court. The Wind Clan, the Light Clan, and the Holy Clan. Which one of them doesn't want to protect me? Only the Golden Crow tribe doesn't know what's good for you. Offending me is offending the remote antiquity families and sections. Do you think the Golden Crow tribe can fight against them? This kid's identity is not ordinary now. Let's swallow our anger first." In the sky, the Golden Crow tribe wanted to leave. They swore that they would kill him after the matter of the ancient heavenly court was over. Haha, just you wait. The Golden Crow tribe soared into the sky and wanted to leave. Lin Xian snorted. "You want to leave now? Did I let you leave? Do you want to kill us?" The Golden Crow tribe turned around and shouted coldly. Lin Xian said, "Yes, you're right. Today I'll send you to hell. Don't worry, even if all of you die, the Golden Crow tribe won't dare to attack me now." Let's see who dares to attack me. The Golden Crow tribe's powerhouses shouted angrily. The Danding School's elders were also shocked. They wanted to persuade Lin Xian to just chase these people away. There was no need to kill them. The golden light in Lin Xian's eyes bloomed. One after another, monsters flew out and covered the sky. There was even a 3-eyed vermilion bird that swept across the land. The vermilion bird, divine fire, was really terrifying. The 3-eyed vermilion bird was given to him by Xiao Mu as his guardian beast. Together with the ice fire swan, blackwater mystical snake, and other monsters, it was really terrifying. In the sky, there was a shocking battle. A pair of golden eyes swept across the land like the eyes of a god. He was controlling these monsters. The Danding schools people were stunned. What kind of method was this? Controlling monsters? Could it be that Lin Xian was a powerful beast tamer? Thinking of this, they were shocked. The Golden Crow tribes people were very powerful. There were 3 late-stage sacred kings and 5 middle-stage sacred kings. But so what? The 3-eyed vermilion bird was at the peak of the sacred king realm. At this moment, his powerful attack was enough to destroy everything. In the sky, the Golden Crow tribespeople were all turned into barbecued meat and fell. Xian put them away. As for the storage rings, he also put them away. Come back. The light in his eyes formed runes and controlled these monsters to return to the Black Earth. Chapter 46-53. Lin Xian landed on the ground and heaved a sigh of relief. Even though he had used up a lot of his soul energy, it was still an earth-shattering experience. This was a pill for soul energy recovery. Behind him, Dan Feng walked out and took out a bottle of pills. After Lin Xian received it, he swallowed it and quickly recovered his soul power. Then, Lin Xian did not go out again. He went into seclusion and began to wait. The other remote antiquity families and great sects had joined forces. Finally, they decided to take action together. Someone came to invite Lin Xian over. Lin Xian nodded and set off with the people from Pill Cauldron sect. When they arrived at the Heavenly Court ruins again, the place had changed drastically. The killing intent was even more terrifying than before. The desolate aura and broken walls could easily pierce through saints. There were many people here, including many great sages. Lin Gongzi, you're here. The people from Light Race went up to welcome him. The people from Holy Heavens Race also smiled. Lin Gongzi, please. The people from Wind Race and Serene Cloud sect also came and invited Lin Xian in respectfully. When the people around saw this, they were in an uproar. For a young man to receive such treatment, there was probably no one else other than Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded and followed the crowd. A few great sages smiled. Little friend Lin, you're here. After greeting the seniors, Lin Xian cupped his fists and smiled. Then he said, "This time, I'm not the only one here. I brought an expert with me. He can be considered as half my master. My array formation was taught by him. This time, he will definitely be able to break the Heavenly Court's array formation." Hearing this, the great sage's eyes lit up. Really? Which expert is it? Beside Lin Xian, a black-robed man walked out. It's me. Countless gazes landed on Heishan, wanting to see through him. Heishan stood there with his hands behind his back. No matter how they probed, he remained motionless. The great sages frowned. They couldn't see through him. There seemed to be a layer of mist around him that blocked all probing. "How should I address you?" Someone asked. "I am Black Mountain." "Fellow Taoist Black Mountain, Lin Gongzi, can we begin?" The great saint of the Feng clan smiled. Lin Xian glanced to Heishan and smiled. "You can begin now. I will first set up a formation with him. Everyone, take the corresponding positions in the formation. You can continue to attack with your strength god art." Next, everyone waited while Lin Xian and Heishan began to set up the array. The 8 great saints fought in the 8 directions of the formation. The other saints also followed the order and stood in corresponding positions. A terrifying formation was formed, incomparably vast. Of course, the key was still Lin Xian and the Black Mountain. The Black Mountain had his own special method, and Lin Xian could use the 2 ancient Tao of the Heavenly Courts to crack it. Of course, the power of the great sages was also indispensable. Otherwise, it would have been impossible to break through. Begin. Following Lin Xian's command, an earth-shattering sound rang out, and a monstrous aura spread out in all directions. The others all retreated to the outside of the ruins and waited. In the ruins ahead, the wind and clouds changed, and a terrifying murderous aura swept through the 9 heavens. Only the people inside the formation could withstand it. Otherwise, they would definitely die if they entered without permission. It had to be said that this supreme formation was really too powerful. Even with such a lineup, with so many ancient families and peerless sects attacking together, it was still impossible to break through. It took half a month for it to open. In the past half a month, Lin Xian had lost count of how many pills and divine crystals he had absorbed. His power had been exhausted many times. Fortunately, these ancient families and peerless sects had really taken out a lot of resources this time to be able to recover in an instant. In the process of continuing to break the formation, his use and understanding of the heavenly courts, Dao, had also deepened. His strength had also improved. Finally, one day, a voice rang out, and the entire formation slowly opened. "That's great!" Countless people exclaimed and looked into the distance. The great saint in front let out a loud roar. After half a month of hard work, they finally saw the results. The gate of the heavenly courts was open. What was inside? Everyone looked carefully and saw a passage in front of them. Below the passage was a spatial gate. Sure enough, there was another space. They had long guessed that this ruin was only the surface. The core should be an independent space. Of course, this was only their guess. Now that they saw the spatial gate, all of their guesses were confirmed. As it opened, Lin Xian's eyes flickered, as if he wanted to see through it. At this moment, the people of the Purple Mansion stood up and said, "Lin Gongzi, be careful. This is left behind by the heavenly courts. There might be other dangers. Young master, stay back." They joined forces in front and blocked Lin Xian. It seemed that they were protecting Lin Xian, but in fact, they were blocking Lin Xian's path. The others also moved. There were a few great saints in front of them who were still standing there like gods. Pill Cauldron Sec's Great Saint Pillfire said telepathically, "Lin Gongzi, calm down. Let's go in and take a look." Lin Xian nodded and didn't say anything. Black Mountain stood there next to them and didn't seem to have any objections. Lin Xian was surprised. He knew Black Mountain well. He would never be at a disadvantage. Under normal circumstances, if these great saints wanted to force their way in and rob the treasures, Black Mountain would have turned hostile. But now he didn't. This meant that things weren't that simple. Perhaps there was something she didn't know. The great saints of the clan of the ancients in front of them joined forces and walked forward. In the next moment, they entered the spatial gate. The spatial gate shone brightly and enveloped the great saints. Then they disappeared. What's going on? The surrounding people were shocked. The spatial gate had disappeared. How did they get in? Could it be that only the great saints could enter the space of the heavenly courts? Everyone was panicking. Lin Xian was also surprised. At this moment, another spatial gate appeared in front of them. Only then did everyone heave a sigh of relief. It looked very mysterious. They didn't know, but as long as there was a spatial gate, they could enter the mysterious space. Then the others' eyes flickered. They were ready to move. Lin Xian's figure flickered. He wanted to go in as well. At this moment, the people of the Purple Mansion stopped him again. "What's the meaning of this?" The people of the Purple Mansion said, "Sir, let us scout the way for you." They waved their hands. The people waiting in the distance also flew over. This time, not only were there older experts, but there were also young geniuses. For example, Light, Yu Wudao, Feng Huang, Dan Feng, and the others were here. Dan Feng's face fell when he saw this. "Damn it, are these people going back on their words?" Black Mountain said, "Kid, don't move. Let them go in first." The first 2 gates were spatial transmissions. They had already been transported to another world. It was impossible for them to return in a short time. Chapter 4654. Hearing this, Lin Xian was shocked. So this was Black Mountain's method? The supreme saints in front were sent away and left this world. In this way, there would be less threats in the following fight. Thinking of this, Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. He saw that the Z Mansion and others were already gathering another group of masters. These were all Peak Saint King level masters. They were all top masters of the older generation. These people became the second group. They entered the second space door and then disappeared. The rest also moved quickly. The third space door opened, and these people all went in one after another. A small number of them were Peak Saint King level masters. Most of them were late-stage Saint King elders, and there were mid-stage and early-stage Saint King geniuses. These people all moved. The people from the Purple Mansion also left, but the people from the Golden Crow clan came over and stared at Lin Xian again. "Kid, it's impossible for you to go in. Your mission has been completed, so you can go to hell now." Hearing this, everyone was in an uproar. Those who were still outside were shocked. They didn't expect the Golden Crow tribe people to want to kill him. Lin Xian's face darkened. "What? You want to fight?" In his eyes there was a cold light. "Kid, you were very arrogant before. Do you really think no one dares to touch you? Before, I only asked you to break the array. Now that the Heavenly Court's array has been broken, you have no value to live. Let's see who will protect you." Another Golden Crow powerhouse also walked up and said coldly, "You dared to kill the masters of the Golden Crow tribe. Today is the day you die." Everyone's scalp tingled. They didn't expect the Golden Crow tribe to really attack. At this time, Golden Crow also walked out and said, "Everyone, don't talk nonsense with him. Just grab him. I'll go in and search for treasures first. After I come out, I'll torture him. I want him to know how miserable it is to offend the Golden Crow tribe." Then Golden Crow laughed and turned around to leave. The Golden Crow tribe people all walked over and sneered, "Kid, tell us, how do you want to die?" Lin Xian snorted, "You Golden Crow tribe people are really looking for death. I wanted to let you live a little longer, but now, since you came to me, I won't be polite." At this moment, another person walked up. They were from the Tranquil Cloud sect. "I can feel the blood of the Tranquil Cloud sect's disciples on your body. You must have killed my Tranquil Cloud sect's disciples before. Today, you won't be able to escape death." A few experts from the Purple Mansion walked over as well. "You dared to challenge me, the Purple Mansion Great Sage. Today is the day you die." The surrounding people went crazy. They never thought that there would be 3 top forces that would attack Lin Xian. Among them, there were quite a few peak stage Saint Kings. This was practically a scene of certain death. In the face of such a terrifying attack, Lin Xian coldly snorted. "Was everyone here? If you want to fight, then come at me. I'll take you on." After he finished speaking, he let out a furious roar. The divine flame on his body exploded and swept across the 9 heavens. A terrifying aura enveloped the area. At this time, he released the doppelganger that he had refined earlier. At this time, he used the void escape technique to hide. Together with Black Mountain, they quietly entered the space door in front of them. "You want to resist? Attack!" The experts from the Golden Crow tribe, the Tranquil Cloud sect, and the Purple Mansion roared and quickly moved. Their divine powers covered the sky and completely covered the area. The doppelganger was instantly torn into pieces. Golden Saint blood fell from the sky. It really couldn't withstand a single blow. "I didn't even use my strength, and it's already dead?" The evil spirit sneered. The eyes of the Purple Mansion people flashed. The people from the Golden Crow tribe coldly snorted. "This is the result of daring to go against us. Let's go." With a wave of his hand, they also quickly entered. The people outside were stunned. Lin Xian was dead? It was too unbelievable. Such a terrifying array formation genius had fallen just like that? What a pity. Someone sneered. He was too arrogant. He was a lone cultivator with no background. He provoked so many ancient families and peerless sections. If he didn't die, then he would be defying the heavens. Everyone thought that Lin Xian had fallen But they didn't know that. The one that had fallen was only a doppelganger. Lin Xian had already sneaked in. After entering, Lin Xian found that it was indeed an independent space. The aura and laws here were familiar to him. This was the Tao of the Heavenly Court. Lin Xian's eyes flashed. The Black Mountain had already disappeared. It was obvious that the spatial door could teleport people randomly. Thinking of this, his figure flashed and changed his aura. Endless demonic energy formed a battle armor and turned into a demonic, godlike figure. It seemed that the other ancient families and peerless sects had also separated. Since that was the case, then they shouldn't blame him for being impolite. The Golden Crow tribe, the Purple Mansion, and the Tranquil Cloud sect, he wouldn't let any of them go. Thinking of this, his figure flashed and flew forward. He flew past countless forests. Suddenly, a palace appeared in the forest. The palace was different from the one outside. It was no longer in ruins. Instead, it was flowing with divine radiance. It was unusually mysterious. At the sight of this, Lin Xian was astonished as he descended. Not long after he landed, more people descended. Among them, there were 4 golden crows, and one of them was from the Tranquil Cloud sect. Seeing this, Lin Xian suddenly turned his head and stared at those people. He snorted coldly and said, "Get over here and accept your death." The experts of the Golden Crow tribe and the Tranquil Cloud sect were stunned. They stared ahead. It seemed that the person's aura was very young. He was only an early Saint King. What a reckless fool. Just based on you, you dare to contend against us? Looking at the other party's appearance, he was alone and his cultivation was so weak. He should be from an ordinary sect. Daring to fight against them was simply courting death. "Kid, this divine palace is ours. You scram." They stared at the palace in front of them, their eyes shining. Lin Xian said, "You are not qualified. I will make you Golden Crow tribe and the Tranquil Cloud sect despair." After that, demonic energy exploded from his body. Like a peerless demon god, a black spear appeared in his hand and he attacked. Courting death. Let's kill him together. Don't waste time. These people attacked together. 5 middle stage Saint King experts were prepared to kill the figure in front of them. After all, this divine palace did not look ordinary. They had to enter in advance. If they attracted other experts, it would be troublesome. Lin Xian's gaze swept across and stared at the expert from the Tranquil Cloud sect. The Great Destruction spear flew out, courting death. The expert from the Tranquil Cloud sect shouted coldly. His black palm was like a cloud that floated over. It enveloped the front, wanting to grab the black spear. With a clang, a sonorous sound rang out. But in the next moment, a roar sounded out. The black palm was instantly pierced through. The Great Destruction spear carried the power to destroy everything. Not only did it pierce through the opponent's palm, it also tore apart the opponent's body. I said, "I will make you despair." As he spoke, he waved his arm. The Great Destruction spear pierced through the opponent's soul and nailed him to the void. Chapter 46:55. Was he dead? The other Golden Crow clan members were stunned. They did not expect that the other party could kill such an expert with one strike. Damn it, were the people of the Serene Cloud sect trash. The 4 of us joined hands. They belonged to the same ancient race, and their bloodline was incomparably powerful. Under their joint efforts, the Golden Crow fire was like 4 suns, constantly rotating. Lin Xian sneered. Were the Golden Crow clan members very strong? Today I will refine you. The Great Destruction spear attacked again. Black demonic chi pierced through the 9 heavens, enveloping the entire world. The 4 suns were also covered by demonic chi. The Golden Crow clan members felt the pressure. Not good. Why was this person so strong? This was a top genius, able to fight above his level. Attack with all your strength. The four of them roared. The leader was an old man. A golden long saber flew out from between his eyebrows, descending from the sky. Another person attacked with a golden pagoda. The other two formed a terrifying domain, enveloping heaven and earth. The four people's ultimate techniques and abilities were used together, but it was useless. Lin Xian held the great destruction spear in his hand, sweeping across the area, killing intent soaring to the sky. The golden long saber was split into two, and the terrifying pagoda was shattered by a punch. The black spear turned into lightning, piercing through two golden crows. Then, a terrifying light erupted. It tore the two golden crows into pieces. The remaining two were stunned. They turned and fled. What a joke! The other party was too strong. Even if they joined hands, they would not be able to defeat him. Now you want to escape? Don't you still want to kill me? Don't you think I am useless? Lin Xian's figure flashed, tearing apart the void, blocking the other party's path. Damn it, who the hell are you? The two Golden Crow clan experts roared. Lin Xian recovered his true appearance and said, Who do you think I am? What? It's you. The two Golden Crow clan experts were scared out of their wits. Weren't you already dead? Previously, the three great sects attacked together, and the top forces killed the other party. It was impossible for the other party to still be alive. What was going on? Lin Xian sneered. You don't understand? Then go to hell to think about it. The black spear attacked again. Two roars sounded. Then, two bodies landed on the ground. Lin Xian waved his hand and collected the 5 storage rings. As for the rest of the people, they were all beaten into a bloody mist. After doing all that, Lin Xian sneered and walked into the divine palace before him. In the vast mountains outside, a few figures stopped. A young man and an old man. The old man frowned. I can sense the aura of our Golden Crow clan in the vicinity. It seems that they have died. That young man's expression also changed greatly. Who dared to touch us? The people of the Golden Crow clan. 7th Grandpa, let's go and take a look. The two of them quickly rose into the air and flew off into the distance. Finally, they saw a divine palace in front of them that was emitting divine light. There was blood in front of the temple. What a terrifying aura. Damn it, it's the aura of our Golden Crow clan, and there's more than one of them. Damn it, the old man roared. Golden Wule also said, 7th Grandpa, it must be our people who fought with the other party for the temple. Our people have fallen. The enemy must be inside. Let's go in. The old man directly charged in. Golden Wule followed behind. He was facing a great enemy. To be able to kill so many of their family's powerhouses, there must be a lot of people on the other side. There might even be a dozen of them. He was worried. However, when he entered, he was stunned. There was only one figure in front of him, standing there with his back facing him. Who are you? Golden Wule asked coldly. Are you the one who killed the people of the Golden Crow clan? Lin Xian stood in front and ignored him. At this moment, his gaze fell on the front. There was a table in front of him. There were many things on the table that seemed to be used for sacrifices. However, the rest had been turned into nothingness and were shattered. Only one of them was still intact. It was a spirit fruit. It was definitely not an ordinary item that could preserve its power for so many years. Golden Wule was furious when he saw that the other party ignored him. Kid, are you deaf? I'm asking you a question. 7th Grandpa waved his hand and said, Shut up. He walked to the other side and went around Lin Xian. Finally, he saw the scene in front of him. When he saw the spirit fruit on the table in front of him, he cried out in surprise. It was an immortal peach. What? Is there a treasure? Golden Wule also flew over. When he saw the spirit fruit, his eyes also turned red. It might have been left behind tens of thousands of years ago. It might be an elixir of immortality. If he ate one, he might be able to immediately become a flying immortal. At the very least, it could increase his strength and let him break through. Thinking of this, He impatiently stretched out his golden claws and clawed at the front. In midair, a black palm blocked him and grabbed his sharp claws. Lin Xian turned his head and said coldly, "You want to snatch something from me? You are courting death." Lin Xian exerted force in his palm. A terrifying demonic aura turned into a millstone of death and broke the other party's claws. Golden Wule screamed and retreated. "Damn it! Seventh Grandpa, help me kill him." "Diant!" The seventh elder shouted angrily and quickly rushed forward. He was a sage king in the late stage and was very powerful. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Then he waved his hand and a black water mystical snake flew over, releasing a terrifying aura. Lin Xian looked at Golden Wule and laughed coldly. "You think you can do anything to me just because you have Elder Zhang? Today, I will kill you in front of your elders. Let's see what you can do to me." As he spoke, he slapped Golden Wule. Golden Wule screamed, and his body was torn into pieces. The seventh elder shouted angrily, "Damn it! Why are you going against us? Do you want to be enemies with the Golden Wule tribe?" Lin Xian laughed. The demonic aura on his body dissipated, and his true face was revealed. "If I don't attack you, will you let me go? Didn't you want to kill me?" When they saw Lin Xian's face, the two of them were shocked. "Damn it! You are still alive. Run!" The seventh elder roared and told Golden Wule to run while he attacked Lin Xian. The black water mystical snake turned into lightning and blocked the Golden Wule elder. The black water mystical snake carried the power of the Black Sea and fought against the flames. Lin Xian looked at Golden Wule. "Do you think you can escape?" He rushed forward with extreme speed and grabbed Golden Wule elder's head. Golden Wule elder was frozen and couldn't use his strength at all. Lin Xian pulled back his hand and Golden Wule elder's limbs were broken and turned into a bloody mist. Golden Wule elder roared crazily. The pain made him want to die. Lin Xian said, "How far have we gone? I will let you feel my soul attack." He turned into a soul world and let Golden Wule elder's soul enter to suffer for 100 generations. In the blink of an eye, thousands of years had passed. Golden Wule elder's soul was tortured for countless years and died in despair. In reality, it only happened for a second. Chapter 46:56. Lin Xian turned to the elder and sneered, "It's your turn now." "Damn it, you killed him." The seventh elder roared. That was one of his grandsons, and Qin Haodong killed him right in front of him. And now, Qin Haodong wanted to kill him. He roared to the sky and forced the Blackwater mystical snake to retreat. "You have a demonic beast that can fight against me, but it's impossible for you to kill me. I'll go back now and use the power of my family to tear you to pieces." Qin Haodong was too terrifying. Qin Haodong didn't die even after facing such a terrifying attack. He had to tell his family to send more experts to kill Qin Haodong. Lin Xian sneered. "Do you think I'll let you go? Also, who told you that I only have one demonic beast?" Golden light bloomed in his eyes and formed a pair of golden eyes above his head. Then a figure flew out. The ice fire swan released the terrifying power of ice and fire and attacked. The seventh elder's face turned ugly. He was also a late-stage Saint King. If the two demonic beasts wanted to kill him, he would definitely die. It looked like he was going to risk his life. With a roar, he took out a pagoda and immortalized the peach. It looked like he didn't want to give up on the treasure in the process of escaping. The peach was enveloped by the pagoda and rose into the air. Lin Xian sneered. "You don't know what's good for you. You're about to die, but you still want to fight for the treasure. How stupid." Suddenly he was stunned and shocked. What's going on? Even the seventh elder was stunned. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. The change in front of him was very shocking. The peach left the table and flew toward the pagoda. but it turned into ashes in the air and scattered on the ground. What's going on? The seventh elder of the Golden Crow tribe was stunned and stared at Lin Xian. Lin Xian was also stunned. The golden light in his eyes bloomed, and he looked at the table. He smiled. So that's how it is. It looks like I've been fooled. With a wave of his hand, Lin Xian grabbed the white jade plate containing the immortal peaches and pulled it over. The plate was engraved with endless great Tao. It was very mysterious. There was even a palm at the bottom of the plate. Lin Xian was shocked. She was indeed a treasure. It was no wonder that the other spiritual herbs had already been destroyed, and only the peach of immortality was still intact. It was because of this plate. As soon as the peach left the plate, it instantly turned into ashes. The Golden Crow elder had also noticed this. He roared, "Kid, give it to me." Lin Xian sneered. "You're about to die, yet you still want treasures? Go to hell." He waved his hand and activated his eye technique. The Blackwater mystical snake and the Frostfire swan flew over. The Golden Crow elder roared angrily. The pagoda descended to resist the attack. Boom! Boom! His aura was shaken, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. He knew he wasn't a match for him, so he turned around and fled. "Where are you going?" Lin Xian rushed up and struck out with the Great Destruction Spear. It was like a sharp sword that slashed down, courting death. The Golden Crow elder kicked out and collided with the Spear of Great Destruction in the air. Lin Xian's arm was numb from the shock. The Golden Crow elder was also shocked. Damn it! Was this brat already able to contend with him? This was too heaven-defying. Lin Xian sneered. He activated his eye technique and continuously attacked the Golden Crow elder's soul. The Golden Crow elder was disdainful at first, but Lin Xian's soul power was too strong, especially after he had recently comprehended the 14th Heavenly Secrets Tao diagram. The power of reincarnation was unleashed by him, turning into a ray of reincarnation light. The Golden Crow elder's head cracked open, and his soul was injured. He roared and used the pagoda to protect his soul. Boom! The Frostfire swan shot out ice and froze him. The Blackwater mystical snake turned into a sharp sword and pierced through his body. Under the attacks of the two beasts, the Golden Crow elder finally fell. The old man transformed into his true form and fell down, turning into a small golden mountain. Lin Xian took the old man's storage ring and the mountain-like corpse. Then he searched the temple again. There was nothing else. It seemed that this was a place of worship. Lin Xian was not in a hurry to go out. Instead, he carefully looked at the white jade plate that he had obtained. After studying it, he found that the most important thing was that the palm formed by the great Tao seemed to be able to hold up everything. This should be a terrifying divine ability. Lin Xian raised his palm and derived the great Tao on it. He had previously comprehended the heavenly quartz Tao, which formed two ancient characters. Therefore, his cultivation speed was extremely fast at this moment. In addition, the great dragon sword soul had the ability to derive everything. Therefore, it did not take long for him to derive it. He felt that his palm had become extraordinary. What kind of power was this? Lin Xian was surprised. He felt that this palm did not seem to be able to attack, but it had a special divine ability. He took out the Golden Crow elder's body from before and held it in his palm. Immediately, a wave of power surged into the Golden Crow elder's body. There was a change. That enormous body actually turned into a drop of blood essence that floated above his palm. The pure power on it surprised Lin Xian. It seemed that the impurities had been removed. It was too magical. It must be related to the sacrifices of the heavenly court. Lin Xian was overjoyed and stored the blood essence. At the same time, he was about to hand the plate to Little White. After Little White came out and saw the white jade plate, she was also overjoyed. She waved her claws and directly pulled the great Tao over. The white jade plate shattered. The The palm that was propped up landed on top of the treasure bowl, making it seem even more mysterious. Lin Xian was surprised. "What is this?" Little White babbled. "The hand of creation." Lin Xian looked forward again and sighed. "They must have been worshipping something back then, but I don't know what it is now." Little White said, "I'm hungry. Let's go find the treasure." Lin Xian smiled. "You little imp." Then he left this place. With the treasure bowl and the hand of creation, Little White guided Lin Xian all the way through the mountains and rivers and finally arrived in front of him. There were mountains in front of him. The tallest one was tens of thousands of feet tall, like a sharp sword. At the top, there was a vine with a gourd on it. It seemed that there was more than one gourd in the past, but it had been taken away by someone, leaving only the last purple gourd. The gourd was not big, but it was a creation of heaven and earth. The power it contained was shocking. Little White clapped her hands and smiled. "Hey, that thing suits me." "You little guy. Okay, I'll get it for you." Lin Xian smiled and walked forward. His appearance attracted the attention of countless people. In the next moment, everyone saw a man who looked like a demon walking over. "Who is it? What a terrifying aura." Countless people looked over. But when they saw that Lin Xian was alone, they no longer paid attention. No matter how strong a person was, his ability was limited. Here, they relied on the strength of a group. In the sky ahead, the stars were bright, and the sun and moon alternated. The purple gourd on the mountain also shook. Endless purple light flew in all directions. Was it a demonic beast? Countless people were shocked. Divine light blossomed from their eyes as they observed the sky full of flames. Lin Xian saw it immediately and was shocked. It was the purple qilin. Everyone was shocked. This was actually a qilin, a divine beast. Had he been living in the heavenly court all this time? If that was really the case, it would be too terrifying. "No, I know this purple qilin. It came from the outside," an old man from the Wind Clan said through gritted teeth. The others heaved a sigh of relief when they heard this. However, he was also incomparably shocked. Although he did not come from the heavenly court ruins, the qilin race itself was incomparably powerful, and their bloodline was extremely strong. Even the qilin cave was an emperor race that had produced a great emperor. This purple qilin was very strong and would be difficult to deal with. "This saint has taken a fancy to this gourd. You humans better scram, or I'll let you all swallow it." A shocking roar accompanied by terrifying flames swept out in all directions. Some of the weaker Saint Kings felt that their bodies were about to melt. The bloodline flames were really too powerful. "You're too arrogant. Although you're a qilin, which one of the people here is in an ancient family or a peerless sect that isn't weaker than you? You want to take the purple gourd for yourself? I'm afraid you don't have the strength." The old man from the Wind Clan shouted coldly. "Is that so? With just you guys?" The purple qilin was disdainful. He was a peak saint beast, and his strength was not something these people could imagine. "Then what about us?" The people from the Saint Heavens clan walked out. The people from the Light Clan and the Serene Cloud sect also moved out. They were prepared to deal with the qilin together. Only by killing it could they compete with each other and have a chance to obtain the purple gourd. "Everyone, let's work together," the old man from the Wind Clan shouted. He raised his hand and a wind blade swept out. Thousands of wind blades swept out towards the purple qilin. Boom! The purple flames that filled the sky were split apart in an instant. Countless people were shocked. It was too terrifying. Even Lin Xian was shocked. It seemed like he had to sit on the mountain and watch the tigers fight while waiting for an opportunity. The attack of the old man from the Wind Clan had thoroughly infuriated the qilin. The purple qilin roared crazily. A purple pillar of light rushed over. "Attack!" The people from the Light Clan rushed over. They reached the purple qilin's side at extreme speed and punched out. The The purple Qilin's body shook, but it did not break through its defense. Instead, its tail swept over like a heavenly blade. The people from the Light Clan quickly dodged. Buzz! The purple Qilin moved unhindered between heaven and earth. Its body was constantly growing. In the end, it was even more terrifying than 100,000 zhang tall mountain. The mountain was not even as big as its feet. After displaying such a strong physique, it began to kill in all directions. The surrounding experts quickly attacked. There was no choice. If they did not defeat the purple Qilin now, they would not even have the chance to get close. Run! Those who were prepared to watch ran away in the next moment. The flames had already killed many people in the surroundings. They were instantly turned into nothingness. Not even their bones were left behind. How valiant was this? Perhaps only the experts could go up and fight in close combat. The others could only join forces and attack from afar. Lin Xian kept dodging. From time to time, he would attack with the dragon's sword to extinguish the surrounding flames. He was relatively far away, so the flames were not too powerful and could not threaten him. However, it was impossible for him to get close. The figure that covered heaven and earth was like a god, blocking everyone's hope. However, the people who attacked were not weak either. The top experts of the clan of the ancients and the great sects were not a match for the purple Qilin in a one-on-one fight. However, at this moment they attacked together. It was also extremely terrifying. Gradually, they suppressed the purple Qilin. Cracks began to appear on the purple Qilin's body. Purple blood dripped down. The Qilin was completely enraged. It attacked crazily. However, its injuries were getting worse. In the end, its body was burning with blood. It was only a matter of time before it died. Of course, the purple Qilin could escape. However, the purple calabash was too valuable. Even though it was injured to such an extent, the purple Qilin did not seem to want to escape. Chapter 4658. Lin Xian stood in the distance and observed. At this moment, he sneered as he realized that the great sects had started to secretly attack each other. Although they were still hiding, Lin Xian knew that once the Qilin fell, these experts would fight again. This was the opportunity that he wanted. Only in such a situation would he be able to seize the treasure. Suddenly, Lin Xian frowned and activated his heavenly secret divine eyes to the extreme. It was as if he could see through everything. In the next moment, Lin Xian snorted. The Z Mansion had many tricks up their sleeves. The most mysterious people present were the Z Mansion's people. They had collected countless cultivation techniques and divine abilities. No one could say for sure how many tricks they had up their sleeves. At this moment, the Z Mansion's people seemed to have started to secretly attack while the other remote antiquity families had yet to react. However, none of this could escape Lin Xian's eyes. Lin Xian felt that it was time to go out. His figure flickered, and he rushed forward. At the same time, the purple gourd on the mountain became even more mysterious. The Tao runes on it intertwined, and it seemed to have been completed. The others sensed the change in the purple gourd, and they were also moved. There were also some hidden experts who rushed forward. They were like shadows, and their speed was extremely fast. Boom! The battle ahead was still going on. All sorts of terrifying laws filled the air, and the great Tao intertwined. The Qilin's body was already broken, and it would not be able to hold on for long. It might even be killed. At this moment, the gigantic Qilin's body quickly shrunk and turned into the size of a human. It then broke through the void and escaped. Did it leave? Countless experts stopped what they were doing and no longer attacked. This time, they had also suffered heavy losses. The number of people that they had brought with them was not less than one. However, the result was good. Their biggest enemy had left. Next, it was time for them to attack. Lin Xian frowned. It was earlier than he had expected. Xiao Bai blinked her big eyes and said, "Oh, that Qilin did not run too far." "It did not run too far?" Lin Xian snorted. Could it be that the other party was also going to sit on the mountain and watch the tigers fight? However, he did not care. If the other party had been like this from the beginning, it might have been fine. But now the other party was severely injured and did not have much strength left. If he dared to come out, he would suffer a terrible fate. Let's go. He used the void escape technique and tore through the void and flew towards the mountain. Soon he arrived at the mountain range. At this moment, he could already feel the aura of the purple gourd. The purple light on his body, the purple light on, made a clanging sound. It was obvious that the purple skin gourd was an incredible treasure. He had to deal with it. Taking a deep breath, he prepared to make a move. However, at this moment, another voice came from behind him. You think you're not qualified? Get lost. Lin Xian turned around and discovered a few shadowy figures. They were the people of the Tranquil Cloud sect. These few figures, Xian Exuan Exuan Xian 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 Xian's hands Exuan Xian S. Demonic qi covered the area, turning into a demonic disc. It rushed over, as if it could destroy everything in the world. Courting death. 3 silhouettes rushed forward, down. Shadow arrow, monstrous laws swept out, seemingly wanting to pierce through everything. Clanging sounds rang out as a great battle erupted. The expressions of the 3 Tranquil Cloud sect experts changed. They realized that even with the 3 of them working together, they were still unable to take down the other party. On the contrary, everyone was shaken to the point that their blood and qi were roiling. Lin Xian sneered. Within the pitch-black demonic qi, an astonishing gaze swept across. Their souls were injured. Initially, when the 3 of them were working together, their teamwork was formidable. However, at this very moment, their souls were being impacted. In fact, they were even affected by the illusion. Their teamwork would crumble in an instant. Lin Xian arrived in front of one of them and shattered his body with a single palm strike. Little White also grabbed the other person and knocked him out. Then Lin Xian took out the Great Destruction and pierced the 2 of them. 3 Tranquil Cloud sect experts had fallen. The pupils of those who had rushed over shrank when they saw the scene. So powerful. These 3 experts were all in the middle stage of the Saint King realm and were extremely powerful existences. He was about to reach the late stage of the Saint King realm. But in the hands of the other party, it was like cutting vegetables, killed in an instant. This demonic Dao expert was too scary. The other party was clearly an early-stage Saint King, but he possessed such strength. Damn it! Seeing this scene, the evil spirit's face turned cold. The other party dared to kill the people of the Tranquil Cloud sect. Damn it! His figure changed, and he wanted to rush over. But at this moment, a golden light streaked across, and a middle-aged man from the Golden Crow race charged towards him. The evil spirit roared. He could only fight with the other party, and did not have the mood to care about anything else. The current situation was extremely shocking. Everyone was fighting, and there seemed to be endless danger. The young geniuses were also facing the assassination of the older generation experts. Even Lin Xian was under attack once again. There were 5 experts around him, surrounding him. Lin Xian dodged quickly, and the demonic qi on his body surged to the skies, fighting against them. At this moment, another figure landed. Since this is the case, this thing is mine. An expert from the light race tore open the void and flew forward. This was a lady from the light race, and she seemed to be from the younger generation as well. Although she was not from the light race, she was equally terrifying. Her speed was extremely fast, and she leaped through everything, arriving beside the purple gourd. Not good. Many people exclaimed. To think that the light race had such a hidden genius. The lady's lips curled as a golden net appeared around her, wanting to trap the other party. But at this moment, she was sent flying as though she was struck by lightning. What was going on? The people from the light race were shocked, and so were the others. Who was it? Where was the expert who could hit the light race? It must be the light race. They were too careless. From the void, a figure walked out. It was a skeleton, and there was no aura coming from it. The faces of the people from the light race were terrible. Damn it, it was a puppet. No wonder their geniuses could not sense it. The skeleton was secretly controlled by someone, and it sent the genius of the light race flying with a palm strike. The other palm formed an endless seal that covered the purple gourd. The purple gourd shone with a bright light that pierced through the 9 heavens. Cracks appeared on the skeleton palm, and it was even pierced through. However, this was just a puppet after all. It had no fear and only knew how to follow orders. Even though it was riddled with holes, it still grabbed the purple gourd, tore open the void, and disappeared. Damn it, who was it? The people from the clan of the ancients were going crazy. Until now, they still did not know who was secretly controlling the skeleton. The other party's means were too terrifying. They had deceived everyone. Chapter 46:59. That's great. The people from the Z government were smiling, but very quickly their facial expressions became ice cold again. They also pretended to be anxious. They couldn't let others know that they were the ones who did it. They controlled the white bones and flew away. When the people here weren't paying attention, they would meet up again. Lin Xian snorted when he saw this scene. Others couldn't find it, but his Tianji divine eyes could. In the next moment, he shouted coldly, "Do you think we don't know that the Purple Mansion sect is secretly doing something?" What? The surrounding people were in an uproar. Did the Purple Mansion sect do it? They all turned their heads to look. The people from the Purple Mansion sect had ugly expressions. "Who dares to challenge us?" Lin Xian sneered. Only the people from the Purple Mansion sect were all-encompassing and had endless divine abilities. It wasn't difficult for them to control a mere white bone. If they didn't make a move, he would really get the item. Lin Xian's voice was erratic, and no one knew who it was that had spoken. However, everyone was sure that it was the Purple Mansion sect who did it. The people from the Purple Mansion sect snorted and quickly retreated. The others surrounded the white bone. Did they want to leave? The atmosphere became more and more tense. Some people even attacked. Lin Xian sneered when he saw this scene. His body flickered as he used the void escape technique and quickly flew in the air. He arrived in front of the white bone. Lin Xian struck out with his palm and hit the white bone. The white bone shook, but it didn't break. In fact, its hardness was beyond his expectations. Damn it, someone is attacking. The people from the Purple Mansion sect roared. Quickly chase after it. The item was stolen. The others also snorted. Don't try to trick us. However, there were also some people who flew into the air. Indeed, they saw a white bone being beaten out of the void. Who is it? They all turned their heads to look. The people from the Purple Mansion sect roared, but it was useless. They quickly controlled the white bone and left. The white bone was very strange. No matter how strong the attack was, it couldn't be opened. They were confident. The others flew into the air and attacked the white bone. Lin Xian's face sank when he saw this. Hard? Let's see if your defense is stronger or my attack is stronger. He summoned the great dragon sword soul, held it with both hands and slashed out. Heaven and earth were split into two, and the white bone claw was chopped down. Lin Xian quickly left with the claw. Within the palm was the purple-skinned gourd. How was this possible? The faces of the people from the purple government palace behind them became ugly. Their smiles froze. The way they saw it, no one would be able to break through the skeleton. Yet, someone had actually managed to slash apart the sword image with a single sword strike. Who was it? They soared into the air. After setting up for so long, they finally succeeded. Who would have thought that it would be snatched away by someone else? How could they be willing to accept this? As for the others, their eyes turned red. Kill that person. It was that mysterious, demonic cultivator from before. He absolutely could not let him escape. Everyone could see a demonic shadow shuttling back and forth. They were frantically chasing after him. Buzz, the people from the Light Clan were the first to catch up. They were very fast. This was especially true for the woman from before. She was already infuriated by the fact that she had been ambushed. Now that he had found his target, how could he give it up? People of the demonic path, go to hell. The woman from the Light Clan shot out a bolt of lightning. She was extremely powerful to begin with. It was enough to tear apart everything. This bolt of lightning was even more terrifying. Lin Xian's body was hit, and he deviated from his direction. However, he did not pay attention to it and continued flying. How was this possible? The woman from the Light Clan was stunned. He hadn't been able to break through his opponent's defenses with his attack. Instead, she was injured by the impact. Her palm was shattered. What kind of physique did he have? However, this attack had also slowed down Lin Xian's speed. The people from the Purple Government Palace rushed over in an instant. A middle-aged man formed a seal with his palms, forming a large purple net. The power of the seal was extremely terrifying. Obviously, it was a type of unique technique. The people from the Purple Government Palace were bound to kill. Buzz, a long spear flew out, tearing apart the large black net. At the same time, it shot towards the man in purple. The middle-aged man shouted angrily. He combined his palms and slapped on the Great Destruction Spear. He quickly retreated, and the Great Destruction Spear flew past him. It made his hair stand on end. Damn, this weapon is so terrifying. Buzz, in the sky, the sage heavenly diagram flew down with a power that could suppress heaven and earth. Lin Xian clenched his fist and punched out. It turned into a heavenly demon diagram to fight against it. At this moment, the power of the great dragon sword soul was displayed with every move he made. He did not use his unique technique. After all, he was still hiding his identity. He was afraid that these people would recognize him. However, with his demonic power and the power of the great dragon sword soul, it was enough to fight against them. From time to time, he would use his soul to attack. Once these people's souls were injured, they would become crazy. It seemed that they could not distinguish between friend and foe. Lin Xian was besieged by more than a dozen people, but he was not at a disadvantage. Damn it, who the hell is this? He's too strong. The top geniuses of our clan of the ancients are just SOO. The people from the Purple Government Palace looked gloomy. Damn it. Their Purple Government Palace was all-encompassing and had many divine powers. However, they found that the other party seemed to be even more terrifying. Not only were his moves sharp, but they could also transform into anything. It seemed that the other party had mastered thousands of divine powers. Who is he? It was useless. At this moment, another strong cultivator came and completely surrounded Lin Xian. Boy, are you very strong? The Qilin from before was injured by us. Do you think you can withstand it? Indeed, no matter how strong Lin Xian was, he was only an early-stage Saint King. The demonic beasts at the peak of the Saint King realm had been driven away by them. They were ready to join forces again. Lin Xian naturally felt great pressure. Dragon-shaped, sword qi flew out of his body and condensed into thousands of purple gourds. Then he said, "I don't want these gourds. You can have them." He waved his hand, and a gourd flew to the Light Clan. The woman from the Light Clan immediately caught it and laughed. However, the next moment, she was dumbfounded because she found that after the first gourd, thousands of other gourds flew out. Damn it, are they illusions? Someone attacked. No, they couldn't tell the difference. How did he do it? These people found that each gourd seemed to be real. There was a sharp purple path aura on them. It was impossible to tell. They could only discover it when they attacked personally. Thousands of purple gourds flew in all directions. Everyone was fighting for them. Lin Xian took advantage of this opportunity to tear open the void and quickly leave. Spatial divine powers? Keep an eye on him. An old man shouted angrily. This was a late-stage Saint King, and he was from the purple government palace. His eyes shone with purple light like two divine lamps enveloping heaven and earth. Lin Xian felt as though he had been immobilized. That old man was sent flying. Little brat, do you think you can escape? Treasure, it's in your hands. What a terrifying eye technique. Lin Xian found that the people from the purple government palace were really difficult to deal with. This should be a top eye technique. Did they also have it? Chapter 4660. Lin Xian turned his head. A golden light flickered in his eyes and collided with the other party's light. Then the old man's soul shook, but he quickly shouted angrily, "It's useless. Leave it for me." He stretched out his palm and turned it into a heavenly steel, suppressing Lin Xian. The ground below kept shattering. Lin Xian's face was cold. He held the great destruction sword tightly in one hand and the mysterious jade pedestal in the other. There was a teleportation array engraved on it that could allow him to leave this place instantly. However, the purple heavenly steel seemed to be able to seal everything. This thing could even seal heavenly demons, let alone you. The old man laughed loudly and descended from the sky. He had already arrived in front of Lin Xian. At this moment, a little monkey flew over from the black demonic chi. He was holding a purple gourd. A clear voice sounded, "Yeah, baby, please turn around." The purple gourd shone brightly and suddenly opened. A sword light flew out from inside. The heavenly steel was split open. The old man's body was split in half, and even his soul was destroyed. This shocking scene made everyone go crazy. What appeared in the purple gourd? A flying sword. Was that an immortal sword? That was a late-stage Saint King. He was actually split in half by a sword, and his soul was destroyed. It was too unbelievable. Lin Xian was also stunned. It was so powerful. This flying sword was too terrifying. The flying sword in the sky flew back and entered the purple gourd. Little White looked around and said again, "Yeah, baby, please turn around." However, this time, no flying sword flew out. Little White said, I've used up all my strength. It seems like I can only use it once." The surrounding people came back to their senses and quickly attacked. Taking advantage of this opportunity, they had to get the item. Lin Xian grabbed Little White and activated the mysterious jade pedestal. The array formation activated and teleported them away. Those Saint Kings roared crazily and attacked, shattering the void millions of miles away. However, they could no longer see anyone. In a quiet desert, Lin Xian walked out of the void. Little White was still experimenting. "Baby, please turn around." However, no flying sword flew out. What was going on? Lin Xian asked. "Xiao Bai said that with my strength. I'm afraid I can only use it once a day. Was it that magical? Let me try." After Lin Xian took it, he said, "Baby, please turn around." However, it was still useless. Little White squinted her crescent-shaped eyes and said, "I've already dripped my blood and soul on it. You can't use it." Lin Xian said, "You little rascal, when did you use it?" "So fast?" Xiao Bai said, "This thing seems to be made for me to use." He lifted Little White up. Although he couldn't use this thing, it was the same for Little White. It could be considered a super powerful trump card. At this moment, the sand under their feet suddenly became hot. A wave of flames swept out, forming a cage that sealed off the entire world. "What's wrong?" Little White flew up in surprise and looked around with her big eyes. Lin Xian frowned. Someone was actually chasing after them. Could this flame be? "Brat, I didn't expect you to obtain this treasure in the end. You're really lucky." A cold snort was heard. Immediately after, the Qilin's figure walked out. Divine flames overflowed from his body as he stared at Lin Xian and then at Little White. Little monkey, hand over the gourd in your hand. Yeah, I already have the soul and bloodline imprint of this thing. It's useless to give it to you. Little White waved her hand and said, Big guy, you should leave. Humph, leave it to me. I'll erase your soul imprint. If I really can't, I'll kill you. Purple Qilin's eyes erupted with a terrifying light. Lin Xian said coldly, You're from the Qilin clan and also a top-tier saint beast. Why do you have to lower yourself to the level of 2 juniors? Why don't you give it to me? Give it to you. How naive. Brat, you'll definitely die today. Fire Qilin took a step forward and terrifying flames swept out. Lin Xian felt a monstrous power. He struck out a terrifying dragon-shaped sword chi to block it. At the same time, he slashed the void with his sword and released the flames into the void. You have some tricks up your sleeve. It seems like you have some treasures on you. Since that's the case, I can't let you live. Purple Qilin walked over and stared at the two of them. Lin Xian snorted coldly. You don't know what's good for you. But you actually walked over yourself. If you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Purple Qilin was stunned. You ant, what did you say? You want to kill me? What a joke. Do you know how strong I am? Lin Xian sneered. So what if you're at the peak of the Saint King realm? Previously, you were beaten up by those experts and were seriously injured. Instead of recuperating, you came out to seek death. I'm seriously injured, but killing you is as easy as flipping my hand. He was at the peak of the Saint King realm, and the other party was only at the early stage of the Saint King realm. The gap between the two of them was really too big. It could be said that a single glance could kill these two ants. Go to hell. He had no more patience. With a wave of his claws, he slapped towards Lin Xian. In his opinion, this attack would definitely kill Lin Xian. The void above him split open. Similarly, a sharp claw slapped out and collided with the fire Qilin. With a boom, the Qilin was forced back. His face was full of shock. How is this possible? Does he have such battle prowess? In the next instant, he saw a small vortex appear on his opponent's body. Then, a vermilion bird flew out. It had 3 eyes, especially the third eye, which bloomed with divine fire. Even his Qilin fire felt threatened. Demonic beast, you actually have a divine beast protecting you. This is really too unbelievable. Purple Qilin tore open the void and turned to flee. His opponent was also at the peak of the Saint King realm and was also a mutated species. More importantly, he was seriously injured. He could kill an ant at the early stage of the Saint King realm, but he didn't have any advantage against an expert of the same level. So he had to leave. You want to leave? The 3-eyed vermilion bird tore open the void and charged out. Its wings cut off the other party's escape route. Lin Xian walked over from behind. Since you're here, don't leave. Kid, do you dare to kill me? I'm from the Qilin race. I'm a divine beast. Qilin shouted coldly. Lin Xian said, So what if you're from the Qilin race? You're not a true descendant of the monarch race. You're just a purple Qilin. Besides, you're here to kill me. You want me to let you go? If you want to live, kneel down obediently and submit to me. Let me plant the seal of life and death in your soul. Lin Xian's eyes shone brightly. Purple Qilin roared. You want to control me? Damn it, you're a beast tamer. Lin Xian laughed. That's right. Since you know my identity, submit obediently and you can live. Otherwise, I'll refine you and make you my energy. Ignorant ant, my bloodline is so powerful. You don't deserve to have my Qilin's power. After speaking, he roared into the sky. The suppression of the Qilin's bloodline forced even the 3-eyed vermilion bird to retreat. This was the suppression of the bloodline. Chapter 46-61. However, Lin Xian didn't care at all. A dragon's voice rang out from his body, suppressing the Qilin bloodline. Little White was also there, completely unaffected. How could this be? A monkey and a human actually didn't fear his bloodline? And this human actually let out a dragon's voice. Was he from the dragon race? Looks like you won't submit if I don't teach you a lesson. Lin Xian's eyes lit up and the three-eyed vermilion bird tacked. The purple Qilin roared and the two of them fought fiercely. Luckily, there wasn't anyone in the desert. The purple Qilin was a top-tier saint beast. It was only injured, so it was defeated by the three-eyed vermilion bird in the end. A pair of sharp claws grabbed the purple Qilin. The purple Qilin fell to the ground and roared, "Kid, kill me if you dare." He didn't believe that a human youth had the power to kill him. Lin Xian took out the dragon sword soul and cut off the Qilin's claws. Then he used the Hand of Fortune. The huge Qilin's claws quickly melted in the Hand of Fortune and turned into a drop of purple blood. How could this be? What did he do? The purple Qilin's spirit was terrified. One had to know that his physique was so strong that a Saint King could injure him. What made him even more terrified was that Lin Xian could easily dissolve the energy in his body. Lin Xian condensed his claws and turned them into the purest energy. This was too unbelievable. This person was full of secrets. I submit. I am willing to be your guardian beast. The purple Qilin had no choice but to lower his head in order to save his life. Very good. Let go of your soul and let me plant the seal of life and death. If you dare to resist, I'll kill you. Lin Xian started to use the seal of life and death. However, the purple Qilin was a top-tier saint beast. Even if it didn't resist, it still took him 10 days to complete it. After it was done, the purple Qilin's expression changed. Although it still retained its intelligence, there was a force in the depths of its soul that made it unable to resist Lin Xian's orders. At this moment, it was lying there respectfully. Lin Xian sat cross-legged and recovered quickly. This time, he had used up all his soul energy to plant the seal of life, and his soul energy was extremely weak. He had to recover quickly. It took him another half a month to recover the strength of his soul to its peak. It was too difficult. With his current strength, it was very difficult for him to control a pinnacle saint beast. Fortunately, it was Violet who was heavily injured this time. Otherwise, he would not have been able to control the other party. The most he could do was run away from the other party. Almost a month had passed. He wondered how the others were doing. Did you find any treasures? According to Lin Xian's conjecture, the others should have gained something. However, they probably wouldn't be able to obtain a heaven-shaking treasure in a short period of time. After all, the purple gourd was something he had spent a great deal of effort to guess. The other treasures would definitely be extremely dangerous as well. His guess was correct. Those experts and geniuses had all gained something, but they weren't satisfied. It was because they had discovered an even greater opportunity. However, it was even more dangerous. Either there was a peerless formation, or the treasure itself was incomparably heaven-defying and impossible to obtain. In the sky, 3 figures quickly flew past. They were extremely fast, as if they were looking for something. At this moment, a streamer streaked across the sky and blocked their path. The streamer was even faster than them. Guangming stopped and turned to look at the 3 people in front of him. He asked coldly, "What information did you get?" "Hand it over." The 3 people stopped. They were the 3 experts from the Wind Clan. Their faces were cold. "Our business has nothing to do with you, right?" "Get lost." Guangming sneered. "You don't know what's good for you. It seems that you don't understand my strength." He rushed over at his maximum speed. "You're courting death. Do you really think that I don't dare to attack you? If you die here, no one will know that it's us. Attack!" The 3 experts were furious and rushed forward. On the surface, these remote antiquity families and sects were at peace and even allied with each other. However, each of them was an opponent. If there was a chance to kill the geniuses of the other families, they would naturally attack. Soon, they realized that they were wrong. Although they were from the Wind Clan and had mastered the power of the wind, they were much slower than Guangming. They couldn't find any trace of Guangming at all. Guangming's every attack made them vomit blood. "You're too slow. You're like a snail in front of me." Not long after, the three of them vomited blood and were suppressed. Guangming's eyes flickered as he interrogated them. Finally, he got some information. With a wave of his hand, Guangming killed the three of them. In the next moment, he soared into the sky. On the other side, Yi Wudao was fighting with the people from the Holy Heavens clan. In the end, he obtained 2 divine crystals that had something sealed inside. Jinwu Hao attacked the people from the Pill Cauldron School and snatched a spirit fruit. Half of the spirit fruit had been petrified, but it was still a mysterious treasure. Feng Huang, Sheng Tiance, Yu Xia, and the others were doing their best to find the treasure. Gradually, they flew in the same direction. In that direction, a terrifying power was released. Qin Xianer stopped in a mountain range. She frowned when she saw that there was a battle in front of her. The ones fighting were Violet Palace realm experts and other experts. The one fighting was a light-shaking realm expert. The light-shaking realm expert was very powerful. He used the great, desolate, sky-rending palm and killed 4 mid-stage holy kings in an instant. Then he sealed their bodies and took them away. Qin Xianer was shocked. Could this guy be? Who is he? The light-shaking realm expert turned his head and looked at her. When he saw that it was Qin Xianer, his killing intent disappeared. He took a step forward and came to Qin Xianer's side. Qin Xianer asked, "Are you going to cultivate that cultivation technique?" The light-shaking realm expert sneered. "You know quite a lot. Although you're one of the successors of the Immortal Mountain, I advise you to mind your own business. Successors can also die. No one can be sure who will be the final successor. If you die, someone will take your place. So, it's best for you to pretend that you don't know anything. As for the divine ability you mentioned, I can start cultivating it when I get back." The light-shaking realm expert snorted and left. Qin Xianer's face was pale. He dared to cultivate that kind of demonic cultivation technique? Wasn't he afraid of making the world his enemy? The Violet Palace realm was all-encompassing. They had many cultivation techniques and divine abilities, but some of them couldn't be cultivated. First of all, the conditions to cultivate them were very strict. Only a small number of geniuses had the qualifications to cultivate them. Moreover, even if they cultivated them, they wouldn't dare to use them because it was a taboo martial art that wasn't allowed to appear in the world. But now, the Violet Palace realm was going to let a light-shaking realm expert cultivate them? That's too inconceivable. Forget it. I can't do anything about it. Qin Xianer shook her head. It was better not to provoke this guy. Otherwise, her life would be in danger. When she thought of this, her figure flickered and left. In the vast desert, suddenly there was another change. Lin Xian opened his eyes. What was going on? Chapter 46-62. He wanted to leave, but the situation shocked him. The desert moved quickly, forming quicksand and a huge whirlpool. Then the ground cracked and a terrifying aura spread out. There was something shocking under the desert. Lin Xian was shocked. He wanted to check it out, but he left in an instant and flew into the distance. The aura here instantly alarmed many people. Experts descended to investigate the area. Great, there was actually a treasure trove here. Perhaps the secret of the heavenly court was here. Several figures descended one after another, and then they began to fight. They tore through the 9 heavens and swept through the area. They were all peak sage kings. They were strong enough to destroy everything. Lin Xian watched from afar and was sweating. Although he was far away, he could see clearly with his eye technique. He could even feel the terrifying aura coming from under the desert. More and more experts were making their way to this place. Among them, there were a few who were unusually strong. Lin Xian gasped. He did not expect that there would be such experts after the great sages and peak sage kings were teleported away. It had to be said that there were too many experts in the remote antiquity families and great sections. Those experts looked solemn when they arrived. At the same time, a few figures descended. One of them had the sage sky diagram around him. He was like an unparalleled god of war. He was extremely strong. Sage Tianba, peak sage king, from the Sage Sky clan. His arrival caused the entire world to tremble. There was indeed a treasure. Another cold voice sounded. It was a golden crow. He was extremely strong and was called Golden Crow Flame. He was also a peak sage king. Buzz! The sky was filled with hurricanes. A lady from the Wind clan walked out. She was the younger sister of the Wind clan leader. Her name was Feng Hua. She was a peak sage king. Although the other clans and sects also had peak sage kings, they were still weaker than the three of them. These three people were also unparalleled existences among the peak saint kings. The three of them stood at the front and looked down at the desert. The other experts stood around them. Lin Xian watched from afar. At this moment, a black figure came to his side. Lin Xian turned around and realized that it was He Shan. Speaking of which, where did you go? Black Mountain said that he went to get something. Next, I have to enter the desert and I need your help. Was it to break the array? Lin Xian asked. He Shan shook his head. Let them break the array formation. When the time comes, I want to go in and take something. That is my purpose for coming here. However, I might need some of your blood. A drop of blood. What was Lin Xian surprised about? He Shan smiled mysteriously. Let's not talk about it now. However, if you help me, I won't treat you unfairly. When the time comes, I will also help you obtain the treasure. Lin Xian nodded. The three peak saint kings took the lead. The others followed suit. Not long after, an earth-shattering sound came from inside. All kinds of laws flew out. Sensing this scene, Lin Xian frowned and sneered. They started fighting so quickly, it seemed that he could reap the benefits again. He Shan walked over and said, Kid, we can't wait any longer. The things inside are extremely important to me. I have to get them quickly. As he spoke, he flew over. Lin Xian was surprised. What was it? He followed closely behind. After the two of them entered, they found that there was another world inside. It was incomparably vast, and at this moment, all the experts had entered. After entering, these people's eyes turned red because they found that there were some spiritual herbs growing on the ground. They were very old, at least tens of thousands of years old. Quickly take action. This kind of thing could not be found outside. One stalk was priceless, and here there were more than a dozen stalks. In an instant, there were saint kings taking action. The people of the Holy Heavens clan took out the Holy Heavens diagram and enveloped them with a few stalks of spiritual herbs. The people of the Light clan tore apart the other party's divine ability and attacked. The people of the Wind clan and the Serene Cloud sect also joined the battle. The experts of the Pill Cauldron sect were even more powerful. With the Pill Cauldron in hand, they swept through the surroundings. As alchemists, they were naturally jealous of such old herbs. So, they had to get their hands on them no matter what. A great battle broke out in an instant. Everyone was fighting for it. Chapter 46-63. Kid, let's go deeper. He Shan said. Although these things were good, he did not care about them. He only had one goal, which was to get that thing. Everything else did not matter. No, I have to get one. This thing might be able to extend my life. After all, it was an old medicine from tens of thousands of years ago. Lin Xian was looking for such a spiritual medicine to extend Xiajuo's life. Now that he saw it, how could he stop? Therefore, he attacked in an instant. Little White, make a move in secret. You must get one. Lin Xian let Little White out. The little fellow nodded, hugging the treasure bowl and hiding in the void. Lin Xian went to the other side. He did not go to the place where the Peak Sage Kings were fighting. He went to the other side. There were many young geniuses there. If he fought again, there would be a few older experts. Lin Xian did not hide this time. He struck out with the human ruler seal. The black demonic chi was terrifying. The sky darkened instantly. A pile of black demonic seals flew forward. Not good. The pupils of the people who were fighting in the front shrank. This power was really too strong. Retreat. Everyone retreated one after another. A few who retreated too slowly were directly slapped into a bloody mist. Who was it? How terrifying! Many people turned around. Their eyes were shining brightly. Among them, Jinwu Hao sneered. He struck out with his palm. A golden flame swept out and collided with the black figure. The earth-shattering power shook the sky. Jinwu Hao retreated. His arm was numb. His face was cold. The other party could fight with him. It was unbelievable. Buzz! At this moment, a black sword with a cold and gloomy aura shrouded the area. Suddenly, 7 figures were pierced. They vomited blood and flew backward. How terrifying! The evil spirit came, holding the evil sword. He sneered, "Get lost if you don't want to die." After he finished speaking, he slashed out 2 more times. It was incomparably vast, and some middle-stage Saint Kings fell. When the others saw this, they retreated. There were too many experts. They could not hold them back. You get lost too. The evil spirit looked at Lin Xian and snorted coldly before charging at him again. Lin Xian was fearless. He took out great destruction and faced the attack head-on. When the 2 of them collided, Worski's power surged. Just the residual power of the collision alone was enough to cause the surrounding people's blood to boil. As he attacked, Lin Xian formed a seal, and the primordial demonic mountain came crashing down. Demonic chi filled the air. The evil spirit was pushed back, its face cold. "Who are you?" He was too surprised. Those who could fight on par with him were definitely the top few. However, he had never known a demonic cultivator to be so terrifying. Scram! Lin Xian didn't waste any more words. He stared at the 10,000-year-old medicine and quickly rushed over. Don't even think about having your way. Golden Crow Hao charged over. The terrifying flames blotted out the sky and rushed towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian countered with a man-ruler seal, forcing his opponent to retreat. Blood flowed from the corners of Jinwu Hao's lips. He roared. What were they waiting for? Attack together, and all of you kill him together. Otherwise, no one can stop him. The other elders and geniuses were shocked as well. Indeed, this demonic cultivator was too ferocious. Even the evil spirit and Golden Crow were no match for him. None of them could suppress the other in a one-on-one fight. They had to work together to kill this strongest person. Only then would they have a chance. Everyone attacked together, with the elder taking the lead. The others also surrounded Lin Xian. Lin Xian's expression was cold. Scram! I don't want to kill you. Don't make me do it. Kill him. Golden Crow roared and charged forward with his people. On the other side, some people also made their move. More than a dozen figures quickly charged towards Lin Xian. None of them were weak. Lin Xian felt immense pressure. He snorted coldly. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Buzz, a genius from the Wind tribe, charged to Lin Xian's back and slashed down with a sharp blade. Lin Xian's body swayed. With a swing of his shoulder, he shattered the blade wind. At the same time, he turned around and slashed his opponent into 2. In the blink of an eye, a genius had fallen. It made everyone's scalp go numb. The others roared, "Kill him!" The pagoda fell from the sky. The people from the Holy Heavens tribe pushed it, but it was destroyed by Lin Xian's punch. At this moment, Lin Xian's body was filled with a strong demonic aura. It turned into a demonic sword and swept in all directions. His physique was even more powerful than any saint weapon. The great destruction in his hand blocked the attacks of the Golden Crow, Hao, and the evil spirit. It was as if a giant dragon had rushed into a pack of wolves, sweeping across the land. Buzz, a middle-aged man, suddenly appeared and blocked Lin Xian. He sent out thousands of palm shadows. In the blink of an eye, he blocked Lin Xian's path. This was an expert from the Light Tribe. He was a late-stage Holy King. Lin Xian could not dodge in time and took the punch head-on. Boom! In the next moment, he was pushed back and the demonic aura on his body was torn apart. It's you! Many people were stunned when they saw Lin Xian. Golden Crow, Hao's eyes turned red. You're not dead. Some people frowned. How could this be? They saw Lin Xian. Lin Xian did not hide it. That's right, it's me. I helped you break the array, but you wanted my life. Since that's the case, you can go to hell. Human ruler seal. Yi Futian sent out 3 Runwang Madras at the Mighty One from the Light Clan. The Mighty One roared furiously and fought back. He was a holy king. However, Lin Xian's fighting strength had reached its peak. The great dragon sword spirit roared continuously. Lin Xian's fighting strength had increased exponentially. Every attack was stronger than before. The expert from the Light Tribe felt his blood boil. Damn it, he could fight against a late-stage Holy King. Kill him quickly. He could not be allowed to continue growing. Buzz! At this moment, a finger flew towards Lin Xian. With a boom, it pierced through Lin Xian's shoulder. Lin Xian almost fell to the ground. He suddenly turned around and used great destruction to push back the opponent's palm. What a terrifying physique! After the person was pushed back, her face turned cold. She was also a late-stage Holy King. She was from the Purple Mansion realm and cultivated the ancient technique, Dragon Elephant Finger. Even if it was a late-stage Saint King, this attack would be enough to shatter him into pieces. However, there was only a finger-sized hole in Lin Xian's body. She found it hard to believe. Kill! Lin Xian roared and waved his hands. A large crack flew out. Now that he had revealed the true identity of the great desolate heaven's splitting hand, he did not need to hide it anymore. Therefore, he used this technique at this moment. The person from the Purple Mansion realm used the Dragon Elephant Finger to fight back, but she was pushed back and vomited blood. Damn it, how could be? How could he comprehend it in such a short time? He must be crazy. This was also an ancient technique. However, it was extremely difficult to cultivate. Lin Xian had obtained it from the Purple Mansion realm, and it was not much weaker than his Dragon Elephant Finger. He did not know that Lin Xian had the great dragon sword spirit and could cultivate this technique at the fastest speed. As long as he could grasp the essence of the technique, the great dragon sword spirit would be able to unleash unlimited power. Chapter 46-64 The Great Desolate Heaven Splitting Palm. Another attack was launched at Jin Wu Hao. Jin Wu Hao tried his best to block the attack, but his body was still torn in half. Ah! He roared like a madman as his body rapidly retreated. Lin Xian turned around and stared at the evil spirit. The evil spirit roared and attacked together. He brought 4 figures with him and charged over. One of them was an elder. The evil spirit's sword slashed at Lin Xian's body, tearing open a wound. Lin Xian did not dodge. The great desolate heaven splitting palm flew out again, turning one of the evil spirit's arms into a bloody mist. The evil spirit's sword fell. At this moment, an elder appeared behind Lin Xian. Wind Dragon Fist. This was an expert from the Wind Tribe. Lin Xian had a Taiji diagram behind him, blocking the attack. The aura of death enveloped the elder, draining his life force. He retreated in fear. Damn it! His originally gray hair had already become incomparably pale. Lin Xian fought against more than 10 people alone. A few of them died, and Jin Wu Hao, the evil spirit, and the others were injured. Lin Xian was also injured, but the more he fought, the more courageous he became. His physique was strong, and this injury was nothing to him. Finally, he reached the front and looked at the spiritual herb, his eyes shining. It was a black spiritual herb, like the flower of 9 underworlds, blooming continuously. Lin Xian did not know what effect it had. He would get it first. Countless seals appeared on his palm, and Lin Xian grabbed forward. Damn it! Jin Wu Hao's broken body healed, and he attacked again. The others attacked as well. The Dragon Elephant Finger and Wind Dragon Fist were all aimed at Lin Xian. Lin Xian did not dodge, and the Great Sage Pagoda appeared behind him to block. Heaven and earth shook, and the Great Sage Pagoda blocked all the attacks. Lin Xian finally grabbed the spiritual herb. Damn it, what is this pagoda? It's so terrifying. The others were shocked. The eyes of those from the Purple Mansion sect shone. A great sage artifact? He actually had such a defense. At this moment, Lin Xian had already grabbed the 9 Serenities flower. Then he rose into the air and prepared to leave. Elder, stop him. He had a supreme treasure with him. Golden Crow How roared, and a golden palm came from afar. That was a peak stage Saint King, and right now he was engaged in a great battle elsewhere. Hearing Golden Crow How's call, a hand grabbed Lin Xian. With a clang, he grabbed the Great Sage Pagoda, wanting to seal it completely. If he could obtain it, his power would increase 10-fold or even 100-fold. Humph! Lin Xian coldly snorted and summoned the Great Dragon Sword Soul. The 2 drops of essence blood that he had refined earlier merged into the Great Dragon Sword Soul. A sword slashed out. The palm was severed. A roar came from the distance. An old man in the distant battlefield pulled back his arm. At this moment, white bones could be seen and blood flowed out. Jin Wu Hao and the others were also dumbfounded. What was this? Killing a peak stage Saint King with a single slash. Do you still want to fight? Lin Xian looked around. This attack had made 2 drops of his essence, blood, disappear. If he used it again, he would have to use his own strength. He didn't want to use it in such a dangerous place. However, if these people didn't know what was good for them, he wouldn't mind. Kid, just you wait. The evil spirit was afraid. Lin Xian had a supreme treasure with him. It was too strange. His defense was strong and his attack was unparalleled. There was no way to fight him. He could only retreat and go for something else. Jin Wu Hao also gritted his teeth and left. The others also retreated. The people from the Purple Mansion sect coldly stared at Lin Xian. Brat, you don't have many good days left. Enjoy them slowly. The sword attack just now had shocked him. The Purple Mansion sect had been passed down for a long time, and he could already guess what it was. So when they returned, they had to hurry up and kill this young man. Humph! Lin Xian snorted and slashed out again. The great dragon sword roared and attacked the Purple Mansion sect's expert. Damn it! The Purple Mansion sect's expert's face turned green. How could Lin Xian still be able to use it? In his opinion, whether it was the Great Sage Tower or the Flowing Dragon Sword, they both surpassed the strength of a holy king. It was already heaven-defying for an early stage holy king to be able to use it once. He probably didn't have the strength to use it a second time. But now he was wrong. His arms were broken, and the dragon elephant phantom blocked in front of him. He spat out half a mouthful of blood that covered his broken arms. Then he quickly fled. Boom! The dragon elephant phantom roared and charged towards the great dragon sword shadow with a bloody aura. Boom! 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 The dragon elephant phantom was destroyed, and the Purple Mansion sect's expert was sent flying. He fled in fear, and he didn't dare to return. Lin Xian's face turned pale, and he put away the great dragon sword soul. It consumed too much energy, and he couldn't use it unless he had no other choice. He looked around and collected the interspatial rings of these people. As for the corpses, he didn't give up. Lin Xian could refine these corpses into blood essence. It could be used to refine his body, and it could also be used by the great dragon Sword Soul at a critical moment. Whether it was his body or the great dragon Sword Soul, they were both bottomless pits, so he wouldn't give up on these corpses. He formed seals with his palms, and one seal after another enveloped the corpses. At this moment, he was stunned. He realized that there was someone else collecting the corpses. Lin Xian raised his head to look at the other person, and the other person also turned to look at him. "It's you! It's you!" Their voices sounded at the same time. The person in front was Yao Guang, and he was surrounded by fiend god phantoms. At this moment, he was also sealing the corpses. Lin Xian frowned. "What do you want these corpses for?" Yao Guang laughed. "What are you collecting them for?" To be honest, Yao Guang was also puzzled. He was collecting the corpses because he was going to cultivate a forbidden divine ability. This divine ability was extremely terrifying, so he had to prepare in advance. However, he didn't expect Lin Xian to be the same as him. What did he want them for? Could it be that the other party also knew a forbidden divine ability? However, he shook his head. There were probably not many people in the Purple Mansion realm who dared to cultivate such a forbidden divine ability. The other party had no chance to learn it, so he was even more puzzled. However, this guy wasn't weak, and he didn't want to fight with him now. Yao Guang turned around and left. Lin Xian stared at the other party for a long time, but he didn't make a move. He turned around and looked. On the other side, Little White had already begun to move in secret. Those people were quickly snatching. Little White was using the treasure bowl and the hand of fortune to secretly snatch the herbs. Finally, an expert from the 10,000 transformations, Gate, grabbed the stalk of old medicine. At this moment, Little White was gone. The old medicine disappeared without a trace. Damn it! Who was it? The eyes of the expert from the myriad transformation sect turned red. He had gone through untold hardships to obtain it. In the end, it was snatched away in an instant. Moreover, that power was too strange. He didn't understand why only a leaf was left. There were very few eyes. The power of myriad transformation flew out, and everything around him was quickly disintegrated. This guy was crazy. Those who were still fighting over the treasures quickly retreated. Wherever they passed, the void would tear apart continuously. A white figure flew into the distance. Chapter 46, 65. It was a dead monkey. Damn it, stay here. A talisman appeared in the sky as soon as the talisman was cast. It was the Myriad Transformations talisman, and it was extremely terrifying. Boom! A seal of the human ruler slammed into the rune and blocked it. The man-ruler seal was slowly broken down, and Whitey came to the side of a figure. Who was it? How dare you meddle in my business? The expert from the Myriad Transformations sect was murderous. Lin Xian said coldly, "I'll take this old medicine. Get lost." Damn it, you! The expert from the Myriad Transformations sect rushed over. At the same time, the others also said that it was this guy. He didn't die. When they saw Lin Xian, they were extremely shocked. Kill him. He had already obtained a stock of ancient medicine before this. What? The eyes of the surrounding people turned red. You want to kill me? Do you have the ability? Lin Xian looked around. A crack appeared in the sky. Those who crossed the line would die. This scene scared many people away. Lin Xian was very powerful to begin with, and some people had seen him in the previous battle, so those people quickly retreated. Of course, not everyone retreated, because there were some late-stage Saint Kings among them, especially the expert from the Myriad Flowers sect. He gritted his teeth and said, "I've crossed the line. What can you do to me?" He walked over aggressively. Lin Xian's eyes burst out with cold killing intent. You don't have the right to say such words. Another figure walked out. It was also an expert from the Wind Clan. The last person was an elder from the Golden Crow clan. The three late-stage Saint Kings enveloped the entire area. Their cold eyes swept across the land. This kid has a spiritual medicine on him. You guys divide it. I'll go kill that damn monkey. The expert from the Myriad Words sect rushed toward Whitey. The experts from the Wind Clan and the Golden Crow clan targeted Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted coldly and summoned the Ice Fire Swan. The terrifying power of ice and fire filled the air. At the same time, he also charged toward the expert from the Wind Clan. A great battle broke out in an instant. Damn monkey, die for me. The Myriad Transformations sex expert unleashed the power of Myriad Transformations and charged toward Whitey. Xiao Bai dodged swiftly and took out a gourd. Baby, please turn around. The purple-skinned Hulu released a piercingly cold sword light that instantly split open the body of the Myriad Transformation Gates expert. Even in death, that powerhouse did not believe that he would actually be insta-killed by a sword. Was he dead? Countless people were shocked. That was a Saint King at the late stage. Some people's expressions changed drastically. Damn it, the purple-skinned gourd. The treasure was actually in their hands. He was the Devil Dao expert from before. Cries of surprise could be heard as the eyes of countless people turned red. The people of the light race were fast. They came before Xiao Bai and were about to strike. Lin Xian summoned the Blackwater mystical snake to protect Little White and quickly retreated. At the same time, they entered the Great Sage Pagoda and rampaged about. Damn it, they roared. All of their attacks landed on the Great Cathedral. The Great Sage Tower swayed and blocked everything. Then the three-eyed Vermilion Bird attacked and killed the strong cultivators of the Wind Tribe and the Golden Crow Tribe. Then he rushed inside. Damn it, these people chased after him. Lin Xian controlled the Great Sage Pagoda and attacked the other places with spiritual herbs. Immediately, those people roared crazily. Those who followed behind the Great Sage Pagoda were also attacked. Damn it, you dare to attack me? These people all retaliated. A great battle broke out again. Until now, no one could tell who had attacked first. Lin Xian did not attack again. He had obtained 2 stalks of ancient herbs, both of which were more than 30,000 years old. His harvest could be said to be very bountiful. After carefully storing the 2 stalks of ancient herbs, Lin Xian continued to fly inside. Not long after, he heard Black Mountain's voice transmission. Black Mountain said, "Kid, come over quickly." Lin Xian walked over. Then he was stunned. In fact, he could not believe it. There were 9 true dragons in front of him. Their cold scales flickered and shone brightly. Each of the true dragons was 1,000 meters long and had a terrifying aura. They bared their fangs and brandished their claws. Lin Xian frowned. He carefully sensed and found that these 9 true dragons had no aura. Were they dead? He was too shocked. They had been dead for tens of thousands of years, but their bodies were still intact. How heaven-defying was this? What kind of cultivation did these 9 true dragons have before? He did not dare to imagine. Was this Black Mountain's goal? Lin Xian was surprised and looked forward again. He found that there were chains on the 9 true dragons. At the end of the chains was a bronze coffin. Who was buried there? Did he need 9 true dragons? Lin Xian was really stunned. What was this? He asked Black Mountain. Black Mountain said, "It's very complicated. I can't explain it clearly in a short time. Do you see the lamp on the bronze coffin? That's my goal." Lin Xian's eyes shone with a golden light. He said, "I see it. What is that?" Black Mountain said, "Sky Lantern." With him, there was hope for the Heavenly Court to be reactivated. The Heavenly Court to be reactivated. Lin Xian was shocked when he heard this. As expected, he said, "I guessed right. You should be from the heavenly court back then, right? Kid, you're right. In the battle back then I fell. This time, I'm here to reactivate the heavenly court. Black Mountain was really from the heavenly court. He was too shocked. No wonder he was so familiar with this place and could even break the array formation so easily. He could even find the sky lantern. Everything made sense now. He said, "What happened in the battle back then? Who destroyed the heavenly court? Was it the Purple Mansion?" Black Mountain said that it was related to the Purple Mansion. However, there was an even more terrifying existence. Forget it! This was even more difficult to explain. He would get the sky lantern first. He walked forward. Boom! When Black Mountain approached the sky lantern, the sky and earth shook. A terrifying force flew out from the front and swept in all directions. Lin Xian retreated and instantly hid in the great sage tower. The hall continued to rumble. Lin Xian was shocked. What was going on? What a terrifying aura. He was really stunned. Those who were still fighting in the distance were also shocked. What a terrifying power. There was an even more heaven-defying treasure. Go! Some people had already obtained the old medicine and flew forward. Some people gritted their teeth. They knew that it was impossible to get the old medicine. It was better to look for other treasures. These people all flew forward. When they arrived, they were incomparably shocked. Were these 9 true dragons? It was too unbelievable. These true dragons had indestructible bodies after 50,000 years. How heaven-defying were their cultivations back then. There was also a bronze coffin. Countless people were shocked. What was hidden inside? Was it the master of the heavenly court back then? There seemed to be something on the coffin. It was a lamp. Countless people were shocked. The expressions of the people from the Purple Mansion instantly changed. An old man stood out and shouted coldly. Could it be the legendary sky lantern? Some of the people from the clan of the ancients gasped. This was the inheritance token of the heavenly court. As long as the sky lantern was not extinguished, the balance would not be extinguished. If they obtained it, they might be able to obtain the inheritance of the heavenly court. Chapter 46:66. Some people's eyes turned red. That was an extremely terrifying existence. Those from the Purple Mansion sect sneered. The sky lantern had been extinguished, and the heavenly court would never be reactivated. This time, they would be completely destroyed. Murderous intent appeared in their eyes. You want to destroy the heavenly court? Ridiculous. Heishan turned around and harumphed coldly. If the Purple Mansion sect could be reactivated, the heavenly court could be reactivated too. Who are you? They stared at Heishan with murderous intent in their eyes. You want to reactivate the heavenly court? Are you kidding me? The elder charged over, his vast palm blotting out the sky and covering the earth as he charged towards Black Mountain. The terrifying aura made everyone despair. The heaven-shaking seal. His first move was an ancient lost art. Heishan stood there unmoved, and a terrifying force came out of the bronze coffin. The heaven-shaking seal was shattered, and the Purple Mansion sect cultivator was also sent flying. He vomited blood and turned into a bloody mist. The others were shocked. Was there someone alive in the bronze coffin? Impossible. He had been dead for 50,000 years. If the great emperor couldn't survive, they would definitely die. I don't care about the heavenly court. I want to open the coffin and see if there are any inheritances in it. Golden Crow Lion of the Golden Crow clan walked out and shouted coldly. The others nodded. They didn't care about the heavenly court. They only wanted treasures and inheritances. At this time, an elder of the light race flew out, turning into a streak of light with extreme speed. He tore through the void and arrived near the bronze coffin. He reached out with both hands and was about to grab it. Heishan snorted and slapped down, turning the Light Clan cultivator into a bloody mist. You think you can do it? He turned around and sneered. Dead. The black-robed man was so terrifying. Damn it, the Light Clan cultivator roared, but he didn't dare to move forward. Come and help me, kid. He Shan ignored the others and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded and flew forward. He felt a great pressure. He Shan waved his hand and brought him to the vicinity. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief and said, "What do you want me to do?" "Use your trump card." With that, he waved his hand and 10 storage rings appeared. He said, "There are enough resources inside. You can use the dragon soul as much as you want." Lin Xian nodded and grabbed the storage ring with his claw. "Do you think you can light up the sky lanterns?" That was impossible. The 3 Peak Saint Kings stood out and said, it was time to join forces. A woman walked over from the Purple Mansion. Her voice was piercingly cold as she said, "The Heavenly Court must not be reopened. Everybody, please lend a helping hand to the Z government. This time, the treasures you snatched will belong to you. Furthermore, if you manage to kill those 2 people, you will be able to destroy the lantern. Then my Purple Mansion will give each faction an ancient scripture." "Is that true?" The people around exclaimed. Even the clan of the ancients was shocked. What Yi Futian gave them was definitely not inferior to what they already had. This way, they would be able to become even more powerful. The Wind clan member nodded. The eyes of the Holy Heavens race and Light race lit up. The woman from the Purple Mansion, Fairy Zillion, said coldly, "Everyone, let's attack together." She walked forward. The surrounding people all came over. Lin Xian was not very observant. He realized that except for the Danding sect, which was a top sect, the other sects were basically all here. Those from the Danding sect were more interested in the spiritual herbs and were still investigating from afar. However, even if they came, they would not be able to help him. Now, he could only rely on himself and Black Mountain. Taking a deep breath, Lin Xian prepared to use the storage ring to awaken the Great Dragon Sword Soul. Black Mountain said, "Use the Great Dragon Sword Soul to break the Sky Lantern. Leave these people to me." Black Mountain walked out, exuding a terrifying aura. Lin Xian was shocked. Can this work? Although this old guy was a supreme saint, his strength should not have fully recovered. "You want to fight against all of us by yourself?" Fairy Zillion sneered. The other Saint Kings were also disdainful, no matter how strong the opponent was. So what? Qilin was strong, but he was still defeated by them. Now, this black-robed man was no match for them either. "Humph, I don't care about trash like you. Those great sages wouldn't come. So, I am not afraid of anything." Black Mountain snorted. "Attack!" Fairy Zillion waved her hand and rushed out. Dragon Elephant Finger. Her jade-like hand carried a terrifying power that could tear everything apart. The ancient lost art was terrifying. The other experts also attacked. Their terrifying aura made Lin Xian's blood boil. Lin Xian wanted to summon his beasts to block them, but he found that it was difficult to do so. There were simply too many experts. However, Black Mountain laughed. "Today, I will show you my true strength." The black aura on his body quickly spread and turned into a black locust tree. It stood tall and had a terrifying aura. The tree trunk and leaves covered the sky and spread in all directions. Black leaves fell down and pierced through the sky. The surrounding people were shocked. "What is this? Is it a beast?" "Humph! I don't care about a mere tree demon." The golden crow flame sneered and shot out golden crow flame that covered the sky. Behind him were the experts of the Golden Crow tribe. They were like suns that floated between heaven and earth. However, it was useless. Flames could suppress trees, but Black Mountain's tree was not an ordinary locust tree. The black leaves seemed to have turned into peerless swords that pierced through the flames and attacked the experts of the Golden Crow tribe. The Golden Crow flame was hit and quickly dodged. The others of the Golden Crow tribe behind him were not so lucky. The 5 Golden Crow experts were instantly pierced, and their souls were destroyed. Damn it! The Golden Crow Flame's eyes turned red. The others were also shocked. This guy is so strong. Wind Blade. Feng Hua and the others shot out thousands of wind blades, each of which was enough to kill a Saint King. The powerful storm made them confident that they could fight against a supreme saint. However, a tree trunk fell, and the leaves on it blocked the storm. The tree trunk turned into a peerless spear and pierced through 7 Saint Kings. Blood dyed the sky. Their bodies were torn apart. Feng Hua's face was pale, as if she had gone crazy. What kind of power is this? Her opponent's strength had surpassed that of a Saint King. Buzz! The black tree trunk with the leaves attacked again. This time, it attacked the Holy Heavens tribe. The Holy Heavens tribe's Saint Kings roared. Everyone had a mysterious heavenly diagram that connected them and covered the sky. However, it was useless. After the black leaves fell, the heavenly diagram shattered, and the 3 experts of the Holy Heavens tribe turned into blood mist. 6 experts of the Holy Heavens tribe were injured and flew back while vomiting blood. Kill! Black Mountain roared, and a tree branch flew out and attacked the Golden Crow Flame again. The Golden Crow Flame's scalp went numb, and he quickly dodged. However, he did not dodge this attack. Fallen! Everyone was frightened and quickly retreated. Chapter 46-67. Golden Crow Flame was at the peak of the Saint King realm, but he couldn't even block one attack. This black locust tree was too terrifying. The other party was a supreme saint. They were terrified. Lin Xian was shocked. Wasn't he too powerful? Was this Black Mountain? A leaf could kill a Saint King. It was terrifying. The others retreated, not daring to step forward. The people of the Purple Mansion looked cold. They couldn't block it alone. Sure enough, when the black leaf fell, 4 of them had fallen. Even if they had the ancient inheritance, even if they were powerful, they would still die in front of the other party. One of Purple Lotus Fairy's arms was broken and turned into a bloody mist. She covered her wound and retreated quickly. Her face became extremely ferocious. Damn it, there was a supreme saint. Damn it. Golden Crow, howl, and the others roared. Where was our supreme saint? Black Mountain said coldly. Your supreme saint had been banished to the starry sky when he entered. He couldn't come back in a short time. What? The surrounding people went crazy. Their supreme saint had disappeared long ago. Had he been teleported out? Damn it, they didn't know at all. Now that the supreme saint didn't come, who could fight against the other party? Black Mountain alone was enough to subdue the crowd. No one dared to step forward. He snorted, turned around, and said, Kid, that's enough. Lin Xian nodded. He took a deep breath and released the Dragon Sword Soul. He took out 10 storage rings, one by one. The power inside poured into them. Lin Xian used the Dragon Sword Soul with all his strength and attacked Lin Guiqiang. In front, the ancient bronze coffin emitted a terrifying aura to resist. The terrifying power exploded. The surrounding people were frightened and retreated quickly. They all retreated. There were even 2 Peak Saint Kings who were still hesitating. They were torn into blood in an instant. When the others saw this scene, they didn't dare to step forward anymore. Now that the great dragon sword spirit had obtained enough power, it was able to display a powerful might. Although the power released by the ancient bronze coffin was terrifying, it was still not enough. Although the ancient bronze coffin was terrifying, the dragon sword soul could still split it open. Just like this, Lin Xian and Black Mountain walked forward. Finally, they came to the front. The aura of the dragon sword soul poured into the sky lantern and shattered the terrifying power around it. The sky lantern shook. Black Mountain reached out and grabbed it. Boom! His body trembled as countless runes appeared on his body. Lin Xian was astonished as he realized that he was very familiar with these runes. They were the Tao of the Celestial Court. Sensing this aura, the sky lantern stopped swaying. He Shan's body stabilized, and his eyes shone with a piercingly cold light. He finally obtained it again. There was hope for the heavenly court to be restarted. When the people in the distance saw this, they were incomparably astonished. The faces of the Z government's people were extremely gloomy. Damn it, did they really get their hands on it? A look of determination appeared in Z Lian's eyes. She said, I can't let him succeed. Our great sage might have been teleported away, but so what? Our Violet Mansion has more than one great sage. Summon the great sage. The person next to him said, No, we can summon them outside, but this is the space of the heavenly court. There are unique laws, different from outside. We can't summon them at all. Using that kind of divine ability, regardless of the cost. A trace of coldness appeared in Z Lian's eyes. The people around him felt their scalps go numb. Was he going to use a forbidden technique? They said, got it. 12 people walked out. Each of them cut their palms and blood flowed out. Nearly half of their saint blood floated out and gathered in the air, forming a blood-red image. It emitted a terrifying aura. Zillian and the other 12 people formed hand seals and respectfully knelt on the ground. They respectfully called out, Ancestor. At the same time, in the Z government, a mysterious aura bloomed. One figure after another rose into the air. Someone was using a forbidden technique to summon from a distance. What was going on? I don't know. Let's go take a look. This power can only carry one great sage. I'll go. The great sage of the Z government walked out. He took a step and disappeared. The remaining people frowned. Someone said, It looks like there's a problem with the Heavenly Court's ruins. Hurry up and get ready. The people of the Z government moved quickly in the mysterious space of the Heavenly Court's ruins. When the others saw this scene, they were incomparably shocked. What were those 12 people doing? Were they really going to summon a great sage? No, we'll summon them too. The other clans of the ancients also moved. They also had more than one great sage. Their palms formed hand seals. Some people cast terrifying divine abilities, while others took out formations to teleport through space. However, it was useless. The heavenly court's Tao suppressed everything. What was going on? They couldn't transmit it at all. How did they do it? They were really too shocked. An elder from the Light Clan said, This was a forbidden superpower, and the price to pay was extremely high. At least half of these 12 people's saint blood was gone. More importantly, each of them had lost at least 1,000 years of life. What? The others' scalps went numb when they heard this. The price was indeed high. They had to use their lives to carry it out. And there were 12 of them. If only one of them used it, they would definitely die. The heavenly court space was too terrifying. Everyone was shocked. He Shan in front was also preparing to light the sky lantern, so he didn't have time to pay attention to this. He said, Kid, give me your golden saint blood. Lin Xian cut his finger. The golden saint blood fell into the sky lantern, but it quickly disappeared. He Shan said it's not enough. Lin Xian gritted his teeth and continued to drip blood. Almost 1/3 of the golden saint blood could be seen in the sky lantern. He Shan formed a hand seal and took out a treasure bottle. There was a terrifying aura inside it. It was a ball of flame. It was very small, but its power was extremely terrifying. He took out the flame and placed it on the sky lantern. The golden saint blood started to shine as its power. Countless mysterious Tao patterns appeared on the sky lantern. An even more terrifying and mysterious aura spread out. Was it really time for the sky lantern? In the distance, the people of the clan of the ancients were terrified. The 12 people of the Purple Mansion were pale. They were about to faint. At this moment, A figure gradually appeared in the blood-red pattern above them. Along with it was the aura of Grand Sage Jia. He was about to be teleported over. Lin Xian and He Shan naturally felt it too, but they didn't have time to care. At this moment, the earth and sky lantern had not been completely lit. It was the most critical moment. Everyone was extremely nervous. At this moment, a flame lit up in the darkness. The sky lantern was lit. It was done. He Shan was overjoyed. Lin Xian was also shocked. Was this it? He felt that the sky lantern was emitting an extremely mysterious aura, but he didn't know what it was used for. At the same time, the figure of the great saint also descended from the distance, and as soon as he arrived, he shouted coldly. He shouted and slammed his palm forward. Below him, the 12 purple mansion Saint Kings immediately fainted. They had used up too much energy. The huge palm slammed into the sky with the power to destroy everything. It attacked the sky lantern. Chapter 46-68. The Purple Mansion, Great Sage's cold voice rang out. Something that has already been destroyed has no need to live. Not good, Lin Xian exclaimed. He felt a great threat. With a wave of his hand, 2 willow branches flew out. These were given to him by the Shao family's guardian beast. They had already been broken by the great sage's attack. However, they still had some power. Lin Xian took them out. Black Mountain also shouted coldly. He grabbed the sky lantern with one hand and slapped it out at the same time. A deafening sound rang out. Lin Xian used the 2 willow branches to protect his body, blocking the attack. Countless cracks appeared on the 2 willow branches. It looked like he could only use them one last time. He took a deep breath, gritted his teeth, and looked forward. He saw a great sage in a purple robe. It was the Purple Mansion Great Sage he had seen before. Brat, you actually helped the tyrant and helped the Heavenly Court activate the Sky Lantern. You deserve to die. The Purple Mansion Great Sage looked at Lin Xian. His eyes were filled with killing intent. A terrifying power erupted. His gaze turned into a divine sword and shot towards Lin Xian. This was the power of a great sage. It was really terrifying. Lin Xian used the dragon sword soul to block. With a clang, the gaze collided with the dragon's sword soul. Lin Xian's arm went numb. It was about to shatter. However, he still managed to block the gaze. The people in the distance were shocked. Damn it, how did he do it? He could actually block the attack of a great sage. The difference between a sage king and a great sage was only one word. However, the difference in power was like heaven and earth. A great sage's gaze could kill them instantly. However, Lin Xian was only at the initial stage of the Sage King realm. He could block the attack of a great sage. It was really heaven-defying. The great sage's expression also darkened. He stared at the dragon's sword soul and released a sharp light. You actually have a supreme treasure on you. Is this what gives you the right to be arrogant in front of me? Lin Xian held the dragon's sword soul and coldly snorted. You say I'm helping the tyrant? But in my opinion, you are the monsters. Stupid thing. The Purple Mansion Great Sage snorted and grabbed the dragon-shaped sword shadow. Such a supreme treasure was not worthy of an ant. Lin Xian roared angrily and slashed out with his sword, blocking the opponent's palm. At this moment, He Shan laughed coldly. You seem to have forgotten about me. With a wave of his robe, a terrifying energy burst forth. Countless black leaves pierced through the sky. The Purple Mansion Great Sage felt threatened and did not dare to be careless. He used his Purple Mansion Great Seal to fight back. Boom! An earth-shattering sound rang out as the aura of a great sage spread out in all directions. The flame of the sky lantern swayed from the wind, but it did not go out. After that strike, He Shan withdrew his palm. The Purple Mansion Great Sage's expression was also cold. Looks like you're also a great god. That's good. I'll kill you and destroy the Sky Lantern. He ignored Lin Xian and wanted to kill He Shan. In his opinion, Lin Xian was just an ant that he could kill at any time. Lin Xian's figure flashed as he quickly retreated. Two great sages were exchanging blows, causing the heavens and the earth to shatter. Fortunately, whether it was the bronze coffin or the nine-headed true dragon, they were extremely terrifying. They were far from being destroyed by the power of a great sage. Lin Xian was pushed far away. The people from the other clan of the ancients and the peerless sects were also terrified. However, when they saw Lin Xian, their eyes turned red. This kid had obtained 2 spiritual herbs from tens of thousands of years ago. More importantly, the sword shadow in his hand. That was a supreme existence that could block the attack of a great sage. It was a heaven-defying treasure. If they could get it, they would not hesitate. They didn't think about it any further. Instead, they quickly acted. Beside Lin Xian, the void cracked, and a powerhouse of the Light Clan charged over. "You're courting death!" Lin Xian roared. "Are you trying to kill me?" He slashed out with his sword, and the powerhouse of the Light Clan dodged quickly. "It's useless. You can't hit me." As soon as he finished speaking, the sword cut him in half, and his soul was instantly destroyed. At this moment, the power of the great dragon's sword soul still lingered. So, how could the Light Clan escape? Damn it! The eyes of the Light Clan members turned red. Light stepped forward and shouted coldly, "Kid, if you don't use your supreme treasure, do you dare to fight me fairly?" How dare he kill his people? He could not accept it. Lin Xian sneered. "Do you have the right to say that? You can control the Light Clan, but can you control the others? A fair fight? Then all of you get out of here." Jinwu Hao walked out and laughed. "Light, you're too naive. Now is not the time to talk about fairness. Everyone, let's kill him and divide the treasures." "I agree." Evil Spirit also walked over. Jinwu Hao and the people of the Phantom sect watched covetously. The Wind Clan members were also tempted, but then Yi Wudao stepped forward and shouted coldly, "Whoever dares to attack will be my enemy. I'll fight him. What do you think? We didn't have a winner last time, so let's do it this time." Then Radiance and Light shot toward Leaf Dowdenier. At the same time, Jinwu Hao snorted. "Everyone attack." The people of the Golden Crow Clan, the Hidden Cloud sect, and the other experts all charged over. There was nothing they could do about it. The might of the great dragon sword soul was too terrifying. Furthermore, there were other secrets on Lin Xian's body that everyone wanted. Lin Xian's eyes were cold. "You want to come?" "Fine, then let's fight." Golden light bloomed in his eyes. Dozens of demonic beasts flew out, including the Ice-Fire Swan and the Blackwater Mystical Snake. The moment the Blackwater Mystical Snake appeared, it pierced through a person. The Ice-Fire Swan attacked, and the terrifying power of ice and fire spread out. Those who rushed to the front were shocked. "Damn it, this guy can control demonic beasts, and not just one. Everyone be careful." No matter, this time it's not just the younger generation, but also the older generation. The elder of the Holy Heaven Clan held the Holy Heaven diagram and attacked the Ice-Fire Swan. The people of the Hidden Cloud sect attacked the Blackwater Mystical Snake. A great battle broke out in an instant. Lin Xian's demonic beasts were strong, but the other side had more people. For a moment, they were at a disadvantage, and they were forced to retreat. Lin Xian was also in danger. Buzz! He waved the dragon-shaped sword in his hand, and with a slash, the late-stage martial Honorable Saint King Elder was split apart. The Saint King's blood was dyed red, and his soul could not be healed. Everyone was terrified. "Damn it, be careful of that sword. He's dead for sure." Everyone could see that every time Lin Xian used the dragon sword spirit, he had to rest for a period of time, so this gave them a chance to attack. A Saint King from the Light Clan attacked again. He was very fast and came behind Lin Xian. This was a peak Saint King realm existence, and his strength was terrifying. Kid, without the sword shadow, can you still block it? The attack came down. Great, this kid is dead for sure. Everyone laughed. The void behind Lin Xian split open, and the three-eyed vermilion bird flew out, and monstrous flames rushed towards the Light Clan expert. The Light Clan expert's pupils shrank, and he quickly retreated. But he was too careless. Even with his extreme speed, half of his body was burned to ashes. He appeared in the distance, his face cold. Damn it, there's another demonic beast, and it's a peak Saint King realm demonic beast. The three-eyed vermilion bird spread its wings and shot out monstrous divine flames. Lin Xian jumped on the other party's back and looked down. Who dares to fight? Chapter 46-69. It's just a peak demonic beast. We have more than one peak Saint King on our side. The Golden Crow tribe's Saint King walked over again. Although the Golden Crow Raging Flame was killed, they still had peak experts on their side. The expert from the Light tribe walked over again. At the same time, the Serene Cloud sect also walked over. The three peak Saint Kings attacked the three-eyed vermilion bird together. No matter how strong the three-eyed vermilion bird was, it could not win. Behind them, Jinwu Hao sneered when he saw this. That kid is dead. The evil spirits were waiting for the right moment to strike. Once the other party fell, the rest of them would have to fight as well. Kid, let's see how you escape this time. The three peak Saint Kings sneered. Two of them suppressed the three-eyed vermilion bird. One of them charged towards Lin Xian. The Golden Crow tribe's expert charged towards Lin Xian with a dazzling light. Lin Xian was like a small boat in the wind, about to capsize at any time. But at this time his lips curled into a smile. His eyes shone brightly again. Immediately after, another purple figure flew out from the black earth ship. It was a huge creature. The moment it appeared, it slapped the Golden Crow tribe's expert with its claws. The Golden Crow tribe's expert's body caved in and his bones shattered. He was sent flying while vomiting blood. Boom! He shattered the void, and blood dyed the 9 heavens. The people in the distance were stunned. The smile on Jinwu Hao's face froze. He roared, "Damn it, how did this happen?" The others were also in an uproar. This kid still had a trump card. Even the two peak Saint Kings who were suppressing the vermilion bird were shocked. They sensed a terrifying threat. The two of them quickly retreated. In front, the Qilin walked out and roared. Its aura exploded. It was the purple Qilin. Many people had seen this demonic beast before. They remembered that they had fought it together and chased it away. Why would it appear here? And why would it help Lin Xian? Could it be that this guy was also a demonic beast that Lin Xian had subdued? Impossible. Was this kid the one who had set this up? Two peak demonic beasts, guardians and other late Saint Kings. Lin Xian could sweep through them. If it weren't for the fact that the remote antiquity families had joined forces with Yi Fuqian's uncle, none of them would have been able to contend against Yi Fuqian. For a moment, these people's faces turned cold. At this moment, the Purple Mansion Grand Sage, who was battling Black Mountain, pointed out with his finger. The dragon elephant finger charged towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian was shocked. The space he was in instantly shattered. Was he dead? Everyone was looking forward to it. Boom! A pagoda appeared from the shattered void. It swayed as Lin Xian walked out from it with a cold expression. Damn it, you still want to kill me? Hey, Shan sneered. You're still in the mood to fight with me? Do you care about other things? He used a secret technique to force the Purple Mansion Great Sage back. One of the Purple Mansion Grand Sage's arms turned into a bloody mist. His expression was ugly. He no longer dared to care about anything else and fought back with all his might. How could he not die? Everyone was shocked. Aside from the dragon-shaped sword Shadow, there was also a pagoda that could stop a great sage. This was a great sage artifact. Everyone's eyes turned red again. Lin Xian sneered. Purple Mansion, you deserve to die. He turned into a bolt of lightning and charged forward. At the same time, the vermilion bird and the fire Qilin accompanied him. The other demonic beasts obeyed his orders. Wherever he passed, everyone retreated. No one dared to fight back. Lin Xian came to the front. There were 12 figures. They were the 12 people from the Purple Mansion. They had used their lives to summon the Purple Mansion Grand Sage, but he had fainted. At this moment, some of them had already woken up, but they were still very weak. Zilian raised his head and saw Lin Xian's godlike figure. He was shocked. She gritted her teeth and said, "Do you dare to fight against the Purple Mansion?" Lin Xian said, "Not only will I fight against you, I'll send you to hell." With a slash of his sword, Zilian was cut in half. She didn't even have a chance to escape. The other people from the Purple Mansion shouted angrily, "Damn it, how dare you!" Lin Xian sneered and slashed again. One figure after another was cut in half. Why wouldn't I dare? He was like a god of death, quickly attacking the 12 Purple Mansion Grand Swordsmen. In the blink of an eye, 6 of them had fallen. The remaining 6 were running away. "Patriarch, save us!" they roared. The Purple Mansion Grand Sage's face turned pale when he saw this. He wanted to stop Lin Xian, but he couldn't. The black-robed man in front of him was terrifying. He was a tree demon, but his strength was too heaven-defying, especially the leaves, which could pierce through anything. He didn't dare to be careless in the slightest. Lin Xian sneered and attacked quickly. Under his command, the three-eyed vermilion bird tore one of the Purple Mansion Grand Swordsmen into pieces. The remaining people roared, "Kid, what kind of genius are you? Fight me one-on-one if you have the ability." Lin Xian sneered, "You want to fight me one-on-one? Earlier, your great sage tried to kill me by relying on his own strength. Now, I'll let you experience the feeling of being crushed." As he spoke, the Qilin roared and slapped another Purple Mansion Grand Swordsman to death. The remaining 4 Purple Mansion Grand Swordsmen were in despair. They looked around and said, "Stop him. We'll reward you handsomely." That's right. The Purple Mansion Grand Sage also roared, "My Purple Mansion Grand Swordsman will teach you a supreme technique." He was so angry that he was going crazy. Although he couldn't attack, the Purple Mansion Grand Swordsman had a strong foundation. They had once commanded many heroes, and now they were going to recreate their glory. Hearing this, the surrounding remote antiquity families were also tempted. Some of them prepared to attack, but it was useless. Everything was over. The great dragon sword soul unleashed its power again and slashed out, killing the remaining 4 Purple Mansion Grand Swordsmen. Those who were nearby were also sent flying, their faces full of fear. Dead. The 12 Purple Mansion Grand Swordsmen were all dead. Those from the remote antiquity world didn't have the chance to attack again. They were terrified. So many of them were killed by a young man. It was unbelievable. In the distance, the Purple Mansion Grand Sage was so angry that he vomited blood. Damn it, were all his subordinates dead? His heart was bleeding. The Purple Mansion Grand Swordsmen were all top geniuses, and their future was limitless. Each of them could dominate a region. Now that they were all dead, how could he explain it? Just as he was panicking, Black Mountain pierced through his body, and the leaves shattered his expression. Damn it, he couldn't suppress him alone. Was he really going to return empty-handed today? "Kill that kid," the Purple Mansion Grand Sage roared. "I'll reward you handsomely." After that, he ignored them and focused on dealing with Black Mountain. The members of the Clan of the Ancients looked solemn. They had thought the same before, But after Lin Xian had shown so many powerful trump cards, they all hesitated. Would they really be able to take him down? Normally, they would find it ridiculous. There were several peak Saint Kings here and many late-stage Saint Kings. They could kill an early-stage Saint King with one look. But now they couldn't do it. Even if they attacked with all their strength, they might not be able to take him down. Chapter 4670. Jinwu how gritted his teeth. Everyone, let's attack. This kid has many trump cards, but he's only an early-stage Grand Sage. I don't believe that he has so much power to support these trump cards. He's already at the end of his rope. He can't use them anymore. As long as we seize the opportunity, we'll control the pagoda and he'll definitely die. Yes, that's right. Some people also stepped forward, their eyes shining. The others also took a deep breath. Let's go all out. This kid has many treasures. If they really killed him, they would have enough to split. Why? Do you still want to attack? Lin Xian snorted coldly. The purple qilin and three-eyed vermilion bird under his feet roared. The blackwater mystical snake and the frostfire swan roared furiously. Although the two beasts were covered in blood and their bodies were broken, they were still injured. Their bodies were stained with blood, but they were still not afraid. Lin Xian was like a supreme divine king. His eyes emitted a piercing light. I'll give you a big gift. He used the heavenly secret divine eye with all his strength. The 12 diagrams of heavenly secret erupted with the power of reincarnation. A golden eye appeared in the sky. It enveloped heaven and earth. These people weren't made of steel. They all had their own interests. Under the influence of Lin Xian's eye technique, their souls were also affected. Soon, some people's eyes turned red and they began to fight each other. The situation became uncontrollable. Damn it, it's a soul eye technique. Don't fall for it. Some peak experts and elders shouted angrily. Their eyes were red as they charged toward Lin Xian. Die! Lin Xian roared furiously and struck out with his sword again, killing 2 peak stage Saint Kings. The others retreated in shock, not daring to go forward. Lin Xian's face was also pale. The power in the 10 storage rings that Black Mountain gave him had all been used up. The dragon's sword soul dimmed and entered his body. That's great. Seeing this, many people were delighted. Some quickly rushed over. With a boom, Lin Xian was forced back. He used the Grand Sage Pagoda to block it. His face turned cold. Kid, no matter the price, I'll kill you today. 3 figures walked over with earth-shattering power. Boom! The 3 of them attacked Lin Xian aggressively. At this time, another large hand appeared in the sky and enveloped the 3 of them. No, damn it! What kind of power is this? Who was it? The 3 of them were terrified. These were 3 extremely terrifying elders. However, at that moment, they were turned into a mist of blood by a single palm strike. Lin Xian was also sent flying by this force. Luckily, he had the Grand Sage Tower, so his body didn't split apart. Lin Xian's face turned cold. That attack just now was definitely an attack from a great sage. Who was it? The Purple Mansion Great Sage? He turned his head and saw that the Purple Mansion Great Sage was also shocked. He Shan retreated and did not attack again. However, his expression turned cold. The others were the same. The golden eye in the sky disappeared, and everyone no longer felt the threat to their souls. Their scalps went numb. Had another great sage arrived? Which clan was he from? A low and deep laughter rang out, causing one's hair to stand on end. A figure walked over. Unexpectedly, even the legendary sky lantern of the heavenly court was here. Hand over the sky lantern, and I'll spare your life. Everyone was terrified. It was indeed a great sage. Lin Xian was shocked. He was here for the sky lantern. He Shan snorted. You? That's right, me. That person walked over. Everyone saw that it was an old man. His face was old, and his hair fell to the ground like a waterfall. There were even bones on some parts of his body. This person didn't have much time left. If I get the sky lantern, I can get the inheritance of the heavenly court. Maybe I can live for a few more thousand years. So I won't give up. Humph! The purple mansion, great sage's face turned cold. However, he quickly smiled and said, "Don't worry, fellow cultivator. I'll help you." Compared to the person in front of him, He Shan was more terrifying because the other party might have some kind of relationship with the heavenly court. The person in front of him only wanted the treasure, so he decided to work together to kill He Shan first. Then he would deal with the person in front of him. "Very well," the newly arrived old man said with a cold laugh. He also knew that He Shan was very powerful, so he was prepared to work together. The two great sages walked up. The sky shook and the earth shook. He Shan's situation instantly became very dangerous. Lin Xian's face turned pale. "Damn it, two great sages. What should I do?" He Shan roared. "You think two great sages can suppress me? If I was at my peak, you wouldn't be able to fight me with one hand. Not even now. I'll show you the true power of the sky lantern." The true power of the sky lantern? The surrounding people were also shocked. Wasn't it just a symbol of status? In their opinion, He Shan didn't use the sky lantern when he fought with the Purple Mansion Great Sage, so they thought that the sky lantern was not very powerful. Now it seemed that was not the case. Lin Xian also frowned. The great sage pagoda on his body floated up and down, ready to enter at any time. Attack! The Purple Mansion Great Sage seemed to have thought of something. His expression changed and he quickly attacked. Dragon Elephant Finger. He pointed with his finger, and it was extremely terrifying. At the same time, his other hand used the great Desolate Heaven Splitting Hand. Two powerful techniques suppressed heaven and earth. The other great sage was also extremely terrifying. His body was old, but the power in his body was indeed terrifying. He punched out, and the dazzling light was like the fist of a god, shining brightly. The two great sages attacked with all their strength, and the ground shook. The void kept shattering. "Run!" The people in the distance frantically retreated. Some of the closer ones who didn't manage to escape in time were immediately sent flying and turned into a bloody mist. The other clan of ancients and the peerless sects didn't dare to move forward at all. It was too terrifying. The three great sages destroyed everything. Lin Xian was also shocked. He entered the Great Sage Pagoda. The Great Sage Pagoda also shook. The Great Sage Pagoda was extremely terrifying, but these people were great sages. Therefore, the Great Sage Pagoda could no longer completely protect him. Fortunately, Lin Xian's body was also strong. He blocked most of the attacks, and the rest were blocked by Lin Xian's divine body. But he knew that this wasn't the way to go. Facing the two figures who were like gods of war, He Shan was fearless. He activated the sky lantern in his hand. The great Tao on it intertwined, and then suddenly exploded. The golden sage blood in the sky lantern burned rapidly. A terrifying aura spread out. The divine fire flew out and floated forward. The dragon elephant finger and the great desolate heaven splitting hand melted quickly under the divine fire. Was it that powerful? Lin Xian was shocked, and the two great sages' expressions changed drastically. Oh no, they quickly retreated. The Purple Mansion Great Sage created a barrier of light that cut off the sky. The other great sage's hair turned into a waterfall and swept out like a black dragon, dancing between heaven and earth. But soon it ignited. He couldn't block it at all. Half of his body was burned by the divine fire, and he roared crazily. "Fellow Taoist, block it. I don't believe that he can use it endlessly." The Purple Mansion Great Sage shouted coldly. It seemed that he was using an extremely powerful divine skill. Chapter 46:71. Although the sky lantern was powerful, it required a lot of energy. Currently, it only had some golden sacred blood left. After that, it would run out of energy. The sky lantern would also be extinguished. Black Mountain snorted coldly. Then I'll turn you into lamp oil. He transformed into his true form. Countless branches shot toward the withered old man, wrapped around him, and pulled him into the sky lantern. The old man roared crazily and tried to resist. However, as soon as he got close to the sky lantern, all of his power seemed to be ignited. His entire body was enveloped by a ball of divine fire. Fellow cultivator, stop! I don't want the sky lantern anymore. I won't attack you anymore. Please let me go. It's not easy for me to cultivate. It's not easy to cultivate. How dare you plot against me? Repent in your next life. Black Mountain was unmoved. He exerted more force and completely ignited the old man. The old man's body melted and turned into blood that swayed between heaven and earth. Finally, he entered the sky lantern. The sky lantern's fire suddenly erupted. Its power was 10 times stronger than before. After all, it was the blood of a supreme sage. It was much more powerful than Lin Xian's. Next, I'll deal with you. He looked at the purple mansion, Great Sage. The purple mansion, Great Sage's scalp went numb. He felt that his life was in danger. The sky lantern was like a divine artifact. He could not resist it at all. Of course, he also knew that it was impossible for him to escape. He had heard some legends about the sky lantern before. Now his only chance was to block this attack. Then he would have a chance to escape. Thinking of that, endless lightning bloomed from his body. Every move he made carried an aura of supremacy. As a supreme sage, he was not to be trifled with. Secret skill of burning blood, overlord fist of heaven and earth. The sacred blood in his body quickly burned. He roared angrily, and it was as if a god had descended to the world. He was extremely powerful. He pushed out a palm, causing everyone to panic. Lin Xian quickly retreated with the supreme sage. He knew that he was going to risk his life. Black Mountain held the sky lantern in his hand and quickly formed a hand seal. The sky lantern shone brightly, and divine fire floated out again. An earth-shattering sound rang out, and a destructive aura swept across the 9 heavens and 10 lands. At that moment, even the ancient bronze coffin shook violently. Not good. Retreat. The people from the remote antiquity clans and great powers were running away as fast as they could. The people of the Light Clan were the first to escape. They came out of the desert. Then he continued to flee. Then the Wind Clan and the Golden Crow Clan fled one after another. However, half of the people remained in the desert forever, killed by the destructive power. Damn it! Those people's hearts were dripping blood. Just by watching the battle, their losses were already so great. However, they didn't dare to say anything. Lin Xian also felt the violent impact, and many cracks appeared on his body. Damn it! Even the Grand Sage Tower was unable to completely block it? What kind of secret technique did the other party use? The foundation of the Violet Palace realm was too deep. At this moment, he heard Black Mountain's voice transmission. Brat, quickly hide inside. I'll give you a good fortune. Whether or not you can get it depends on you. Even if you can't get it, you can still keep your life. As he spoke, Lin Xian felt Black Mountain grab the Great Sage Pagoda and fly him quickly. The next moment, he saw the ancient bronze coffin being opened, and then Black Mountain threw him inside. Boom! The ancient bronze coffin closed once again. Lin Xian felt that his surroundings had become incomparably quiet, and all the power had disappeared. What was going on? He was stunned. Did Black Mountain open the ancient bronze coffin? What was it that gave him a good fortune? Was there something good in the ancient bronze coffin? Thinking of this, he walked out of the Great Sage Pagoda and looked around. The inside of the ancient bronze coffin was very dark. Lin Xian's body burned with the nine-yang divine fire, shining in all directions like the sun. The ancient bronze coffin wasn't big. It was just a place for burial, so Lin Xian couldn't walk around freely. After he came out, he could only stay in a strange position. Moreover, he didn't find any corpses. There was nothing buried here. What was that? Suddenly, he found something in a corner of the ancient bronze coffin. He reached out his hand. It lit up the front. Finally, he saw that it was a black jar. This jar didn't have a lid and was incomparably black. There was a strange pattern drawn on it that made one's hair stand on end. What was this? A sacred artifact? A good fortune had to be at least at the level of a great sage artifact. And from the looks of it, it might be an offensive weapon. Lin Xian was overjoyed. However, at this moment, the black jar floated up and arrived in front of Lin Xian. Lin Xian was curious and grabbed it with his hand. The moment he grabbed it, he regretted it. Suddenly, the black jar emitted an extremely terrifying devouring power that devoured his entire body. No! Lin Xian roared and fully activated the nine-yang divine body. His fist landed on it, producing an earth-shattering sound. However, with his physique, he couldn't shake it at all. The jar didn't move at all. Buzz! Lin Xian felt his soul float out. He saw his body fall down and be buried in the ancient bronze coffin. And he was sucked into the pitch-black jar. Damn it, what was going on? Did this guy suck away his soul? Was he going to die? This was an unprecedented experience. Now he only had a soul. He didn't have a body, the great dragon sword, or the great sage pagoda. All of his trump cards were gone. He only had his soul. The pitch-black devil jar was so terrifying. Lin Xian felt that he had entered a mysterious vortex. His soul was constantly being crushed, as if it was about to dissipate. Was this a good fortune? Lin Xian didn't know. But soon he regained his fighting spirit. Even if there was nothing, so what? Along the way, other than these trump cards, his own strength couldn't be underestimated. I want to see just how mysterious this broken jar of yours really is. Lin Xian's soul bloomed with light as he resisted. The surrounding darkness seemed to have turned into a millstone, constantly crushing his soul. Every time, Lin Xian felt his soul shatter. However, in this mysterious jar, even if his soul shattered, it could heal again. This pain made Lin Xian hover between life and death. Fortunately, his willpower was strong enough to withstand it. However, this was like a reincarnation cycle. His soul shattered, healed, and shattered again. He didn't know how long had passed. He even forgot that he only had one belief, and that was perseverance. Outside, Black Mountain sent Lin Xian into the ancient bronze coffin, then continued to activate the Sky Lantern. A great battle broke out. Although the secret skill of the Purple Mansion Saint was very terrifying, it couldn't withstand the Sky Lantern. In the end, the divine flame of the 1,000 lantern burned everything and enveloped the Purple Mansion Saint. The Purple Mansion Great Sage let out a miserable shriek as he, too, was transformed into oil. The two great sages turned into oil, and the surrounding space shattered. Only the ancient bronze coffin and the 9 dragons were intact. Chapter 46-72. The divine flame on the sky lantern returned to normal. Black Mountain looked at the bronze coffin below and sighed. He had already gotten what he wanted. As for the creation, it was up to him. He knew that there was something inside, but it would not be easy to get it. Black Mountain came back to his senses and looked around. Then he placed the sky lantern in front of him again. He kept forming hand seals and set up an array formation. The flames on the sky lantern scattered throughout the entire space, as if it was carrying out some ancient ritual. At this moment, the array formation was imprinted on the sword of heaven and earth. A divine flame appeared in the eyes of the true dragons in front. Boom! Their ice-cold bodies began to move. Boom! 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 9 true dragons soared into the sky, shattering the void. The chains on the 10 true dragons made earth-shattering sounds. The bronze coffin was pulled up and flew into the sky. They had set off. Black Mountain put away the sky lantern. Looking at this scene, he quickly retreated. From this moment on, the heavenly court was reactivated. Outside, in the vast desert, the people of the clan of the ancients and the peerless sex were shocked. What was the situation inside? They could not sense it. After all, it was an independent spatial world. That guy should not be able to hold on. Who knew? However, Lin Xian did not come out. He might have died in the battle between the sages. Unfortunately, he was full of treasures. Some people sneered. It doesn't matter. We'll go in after those great sages leave. They all wandered around the desert and did not leave. Suddenly, the desert in front of them shook. Everyone soared into the sky in fear again. What happened this time? Look, the desert split open. What was that? It came out. Countless people were stunned. 9 true dragons soared into the sky, tore open the void, and rampaged between heaven and earth. Behind them was a huge bronze coffin. Was it alive? These people were dumbfounded. They could not help but want to kneel down and worship it. They had sensed that those true dragons did not have any aura. Now that they could fly, could it be that they were still alive? They did not dare to imagine what was buried in the bronze coffin. The bronze coffin flew in the sky. When the sun shone on it, everyone was stunned. At that moment, they seemed to have seen the scene inside the bronze coffin. There was a figure inside. However, they could not believe that figure. It was that brat. Isn't that Lin Xian? Why was he in there? In the next moment, they couldn't see it anymore. However, that scene was forever imprinted in their minds. Damn it, what happened after they left? Why did those dragons come to life? Where were the 3 great sages? Was he dead? Where are the sky lanterns? Was Lin Xian dead? This was the question on everyone's mind. Even if he didn't die, they probably wouldn't be able to get the treasures on him. Most likely, no one knew the truth of the matter. Perhaps only the great sages knew the truth. However, the great sages were nowhere to be seen. The 9-headed true dragon had already disappeared from the world. No one knew where they had gone. At the same time, they realized that the entire heavenly court ruins had changed. It quickly sank into the ground and disappeared. These people rose into the air and looked at the heavenly court that had already disappeared. They were incomparably shocked. This matter was really too mysterious. True dragons were incomparably mysterious. Lin Xian was buried in the bronze coffin. In addition, the sky lantern was reignited. It indicated that the heavenly court had reopened. Each of these things was earth-shattering. No, they had to hurry back and inform their families. These people quickly returned. They had to mobilize all their forces to search for the treasures. They had to find the treasures. Everyone moved quickly. Not long after, the clan of the ancients and the great sects learned about it and sent people to investigate. The people of the Purple Mansion were the fastest. When the Purple Mansion Great Sage was teleported, they had already begun to set up things here. Therefore, they also saw the 9-headed true dragon. However, no one dared to go forward. The scene was too shocking. After the 9-headed true dragon and the bronze coffin disappeared, they moved quickly. First, they went to the heavenly court ruins to investigate, but there was nothing there. Damn it, what was going on? Where was the Purple Mansion Great Sage? They waited for many days, but the Purple Mansion Great Sage didn't return. Until recently, the great sages who were teleported away returned one after another, but there was no sign of the Purple Mansion Great Sage. The great sages from before had been teleported away. When they returned and learned the truth, they all roared at the sky. Damn it, they had been tricked. They had lost a great opportunity. If they hadn't been teleported away, there would have been 7 great sages. If they had joined forces, they would have definitely been able to open the bronze trial and obtain the Sky Lantern. They might even have been able to obtain the Heavenly Court's inheritance. However, it was too late now. Search for it. Taiching Ancient City had been thoroughly explored. However, there was no news at all. Lin Xian was nowhere to be found, and the black-robed man was nowhere to be found. Where did the Sky Lantern go? No one knew. Everything was a mystery. Time passed quickly. Taiching Ancient City had undergone earth-shattering changes, especially the top prodigies from before. They had entered the Heavenly Court ruins and obtained some fortunes. Their rapid cultivation had allowed them to break through and increase their strength greatly. It could be said that it was comparable to hundreds or thousands of years of cultivation. Among them, Feng Huang, Jinwu Hao, Evil Spirit, and the others had all broken through from early stage Great Sage King. They had broken through to mid-stage Great Sage King. Light and Yi Wudao had not broken through. However, they had reached the peak of early stage Great Sage King. Both of them had the primordial body, and the power they needed was even more terrifying. Although they hadn't broken through, their strength had undergone an earth-shattering change. They weren't inferior to Jinwu Hao, Evil Spirit, and the others. In fact, they were even stronger. In addition to these top prodigies breaking through, a new batch of prodigies had also appeared in the other primordial families and great sections. After all, each of the primordial families and great sects had obtained some fortunes. Some had even obtained spiritual herbs from tens of thousands of years ago and used them to refine pills, which could create a batch of prodigies. These people had fought with each other. Yi Wudao sighed, wondering how Lin Xian was doing. Hearing this name, the others turned solemn. There were also some who sneered. A dead person should have been buried in the starry sky long ago. There was no need to talk about it. That's right. Only prodigies who were alive had a future. Dead, nothing at all. Was Lin Xian really dead? Qin Xianer was also in a daze on a mountain in the Purple Mansion. She had secretly investigated after receiving the news, but she didn't find anything about Lin Xian. It was as if he had really been hidden in the ancient bronze coffin and disappeared. To be honest, she couldn't believe it. Lin Xian was such a top prodigy. He had suppressed Jinwu Hao, Evil Spirit, and the others. He had the potential to become a great emperor in the future, but now he had fallen. It was hard to imagine. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.